Lined up just for you, but let's first take you through the headlines of the hour. Cricket's biggest rivalry is back. India versus Pakistan. It's Super Sunday. Important to understand that the main character match will take place. Of course, the handshake is in question. Tamil Nadu polls heats up. The politics heats up as Stalin Jr. in fact takes a swipe at the TVK chief Vijay. Udinidhi Stalin questions Vijay over the rally death. Important to understand that the Deputy Chief Minister launches a sharp attack and says that Vijay must answer. Apart from this, the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin takes on the AIADMK chief EPS. Maharashtra Tipu controversy snowballs into big political row as Maharashtra Congress chief stokes a row. The Congress chief calls Tipu as a great warrior and says that Tipu Sultan is equal to Chhatrapati Shivaji. Apart from this, Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis slams the Tipu comparison. Civic apathy strikes Amchi Mumbai. The metro pillar collapses in Mumbai and leaves one person dead and 3 people injured in the metro accident. Important to understand, and the question of course that remains is if safety norms were ignored. Moving focus to Bangladesh, Tariq Rahman oath-taking is likely to take place on Tuesday. Prime Minister Modi has been invited by Tariq Rahman's BNP. As per sources, the Prime Minister, owing to busy schedule, will not be able to attend, and in his place, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar is likely to attend the oath-taking ceremony. Remember that India is among the 13 countries that are invited for the oath-taking event. Well, recent big breaking news coming in at this hour. This is in context of Bangladesh's new Prime Minister. Remember that Tariq Rahman's oath-taking ceremony, as per sources, will likely to take place on Tuesday. Apart from this, the Prime Minister Modi has been in fact even invited by Tariq Rahman's BNP. But as per sources, the Prime Minister's schedule is busy and the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar is likely to attend the swearing-in ceremony. Remember that India is among the 13 countries that have been invited for the oath-taking event. Well, on this, we have my colleague Saurabh joining us on the broadcast. Saurabh, walk us through the details with understanding that the Prime Minister has been invited for the event.
That's right. To attend the oath ceremony of the new cabinet in Bangladesh, the chief advisor of the interim government, Professor Mohammad Yunus, has invited heads of government from 13 countries. Now, these 13 countries include China, Saudi Arabia, India, Pakistan, Turkey, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Malaysia, Brunei, Sri Lanka, Nepal, the Maldives and Bhutan. Now, obviously, this is something that's important given the fact that Bangladesh wants regional cooperation. Tariq Rahman has made it clear that, rebuilding ties with countries that are Bangladesh's neighbors will be priority when it comes to foreign policy, apart from the domestic priorities that he has. In fact, he's also said the relationship with India will focus on mutual respect, mutual benefit and mutual interest. And that's that's sort of been the tagline of his foreign policy. Now, obviously, this is something that we've got to know that on the morning of Tuesday, 17th February, the newly elected members of the parliament will take their oath of office. Later in the evening, the new cabinet will be formed and sworn in. And they say, the BNP spokesperson says that the 17th will mark a historic day for Bangladesh. And obviously, what we've been given to understand from sources is that since Prime Minister Modi of India would be occupied with prior commitments in Mumbai on the 17th of Feb, it's likely that External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar or Vice President Radhakrishnan could represent India at Tariq Rahman's oath ceremony in Dhaka.
Right, absolutely, Saurabh. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing those details with us. Well, tracking more on this story coming in at this hour, Bangladesh's Chief Election Commissioner is expected to administer the oath to office to the new government led by the Bangladesh Nationalist Party Chairman Tariq Rahman on February 17th. Important to understand that Rahman has reached out to all the parties that contested the February 12th parliamentary election and has in fact said that political parties may have differing paths, but on, of course, national interests, they all must unite. Important to understand that he's also urged the BNP colleagues to ensure that no unpleasant incidents occur anywhere in Bangladesh in the post-poll scenario. While sources have told NDTV that the Prime Minister is invited for the swearing-in ceremony, however, owing to prior commitments in Mumbai on the 17th of February, it's unlikely that the Prime Minister will attend. Instead, the External Affairs Minister S. Shankar or the Vice President C.P. Radhakrishnan could represent India to the Tariq Rahman oath-taking ceremony, which will take place in Dhaka. Meanwhile, as Tariq Rahman steps into leadership, he faces steep challenges from rising inflation, reforming democratic institutions, to even fixing the trust deficit between New Delhi and Dhaka. All eyes are on Bangladesh Prime Minister-elect as he prepares to navigate a defining moment for the nation. Well, NDTV's Saurabh Gupta is on the ground in Dhaka. Listen into his conversation with Tariq Rahman's top aide in Dhaka.
What, according to you, would be the priority of the BNP government when it comes to the policy and the relationship with India?
The priority of a BNP government is to build people-to-people relations with India. The BNP wants cooperation. It is the ideal norm of regional diplomacy, to have good relations with your neighbors. What we want the discussion to be with India is on how our countries can build bilateral relationships, strengthen it in terms of through trade and investment, through other forms of people-to-people cooperation, so that we now start to build a stronger cooperation amongst our people.
So now I'd like to ask you, when we move forward, obviously, having said what you've said, this looks like a reset. Prime Minister Modi, of course, has had that conversation with Tariq Rahman, the Prime Minister designate, and we have now a situation where India and Bangladesh can look to rebuild. In that context, I'd also like to ask you, when Mr. Rahman plans his foreign visits and when he decides to travel for diplomacy to take Bangladesh's message to the world, is India going to be one of the primary partners? Because during the election, we've seen, irrespective of party we've spoken to, they've said that India is the largest neighbor Bangladesh has, and it cannot be ignored, and it's a reality that has to be acknowledged, and foreign policy also has to work in that direction. So will Mr. Rahman plan an India visit soon?
I mean, in terms of once the government, takes oath and starts working for the people of our country, I think obviously there are certain domestic priorities and first. And then, international engagements, of course, India will be one of the countries that we will visit among other countries in the region. And as I said earlier, it's normalcy to have good cooperation with countries in your region. And it is normal to have, relations both ways in terms of bilateral visits to India and Indian senior government officials visiting Bangladesh also. But what we want also is to broaden the net of that relationship to people across the board, not limit it. Yes, so when the time comes, when the time we feel that is right, Prime Minister Modi kindly also invited Mr. Rahman to India.
And one of the things that perhaps that was a issue with India in the last few months especially was that Bangladesh seemed to be pivoting towards Pakistan at the cost of India. And that is something that caused a lot of worry in India, not just amongst agencies and politicians, but to the general public as well, that why, when we've had such a historic ties right from 1971, why this pivoting back to Pakistan?
In terms of it's just, I think it's normal, and we need to normalize relations in the region. And regardless of the tensions between India and Pakistan, for us is not to take sides on this issue. We will have relationships on the basis of mutual respect and national interest. So, in terms of what you just referred to, saying that there are now industrial relations unfolding with Pakistan, But then people will also counter that by saying, well, last 15, 16 years, what happened? In terms of, we just saw, rogue elements liaising, talking to other elements. In India, one-sided affairs, nothing, nobody, everybody else in the dark. It was just a one-way relationship between India and Sheikh Hasina. So people saw that in very bad light. So we want to move away from any country-centric foreign policy or country-dependent foreign policy.
While the stage is set for a blockbuster Sunday in Colombo, as India will lock horns with arch rival Pakistan in a T20 World Cup clash. Ahead of the match, Indian skipper Suryakumar Yadav has confirmed that the explosive opener Abhishek Sharma will play against Pakistan, while he was tight-lipped on the handshake suspense. Meanwhile, emotions are high on and off the field. The rain can play a spoil sport as a high chance of precipitation has been predicted. As the suspense grows over shaking hands with Pakistani players, skipper Suryakumar Yadav in fact gave a cheeky answer, saying wait till the toss. Listen into the reactions coming in on this.
Today in the PC of Pakistan cricket captain said that they want to have Abhishek Sharma to play the game. So can you tell us, is there any update on him? How is he feeling?
Chalo, theek hai. If he wants him to play, then we'll play him tomorrow.
Thank you.
Done.
Thank you so much.
दोनों टीमों को यहाँ देख के बहुत अच्छा लगा, लेकिन जाहिर है कल फिर एक शेक हैंड होना है, होगा नहीं होगा, इस पे क्या कहेंगे?
अब 24 घंटा रुक जाओ ना उसके लिए, इतना अभी उस पे पर्दिए क्यों डालना है? अब हम गेम क्रिकेट खेलने आए, अच्छा क्रिकेट खेलेंगे, वो सब कॉल लेंगे बाद में कल, वेट करो ना। देखिए कैसा है कि अभी एग्जाम में भी कभी कभी कोई क्वेश्चन आ जाता है आउट ऑफ सिलेबस, तो हम उस क्वेश्चन को छोड़ तो नहीं सकते, उसको टैकल करने के लिए आपको कुछ तो ट्राई करना पड़ता है, अपना तरीका अपनाना पड़ता है। और वैसे ही हम ट्राई करते हैं अभी यस ही इज़ अ डिफरेंट कैरेक्टर व्हेन ही कम्स टू बोल, बट एट द सेम टाइम हम ऐसे ये तो नहीं कर सकते कि भाई सरेंडर ही कर दे। तो प्रैक्टिस तो हम करते हैं सिमिलर टाइप ऑफ बॉलर से, सिमिलर एक्शन से, और वही ट्राई करेंगे एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए जो हम लोग ऑब्वियसली नेट सेशंस में प्रैक्टिस करते हुए आ रहे हैं।
इस वक्त हमारे साथ क्रिकेट के दिग्गज सौरव गांगुली है। सर, कल इंडिया पाकिस्तान का मच अवेटेड मैच है, क्या लग रहा है इतने विवाद के बाद आखिरकार ये मैच होने जा रहा है?
अच्छा है, मैच हो रहा है और इंडिया फेवरेट्स है मेरे हिसाब से, बहुत शक्तिशाली टीम है।
इंडिया इज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग टीम, लेकिन ये T20 मैच है, कुछ भी हो सकता है, क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
हाँ, कुछ भी हो सकता है, बट ऑन पेपर इंडिया इज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग टीम।
क्या लगता है ये डिप्लोमेसी और क्रिकेट एक साथ होना चाहिए? आप हर बार बल्लेबाजी करते आए हैं क्रिकेट के फेवर में।
नहीं, क्रिकेट होनी चाहिए, मैं तो हमेशा बोलता हूँ, और मैं सरप्राइज़ हुआ था जब पाकिस्तान पहले बोला था खेलेंगे नहीं। क्यों नहीं खेलेंगे यार, हर पॉइंट इम्पॉर्टेंट है वर्ल्ड कप में। अब वर्ल्ड कप जीतने के लिए खेलते हैं, तो उसमें थोड़ी मैच आपको विड्रॉ करके वर्ल्ड कप जीत पाओगे। तो अच्छा हुआ खेल रहे हैं, बड़ा मैच भी, पर बड़ा मैच सभी है। आज भी बड़ा मैच है, साउथ अफ्रीका न्यूजीलैंड, वो भी बड़ा मैच है। इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया भी बड़ा मैच होगा, इंडिया वेस्ट इंडीज़ भी बड़ा मैच होगा। तो सारे बड़े मैचेस है। इंडिया पाकिस्तान हम थोड़ा एक्साइटेड हो जाते हैं, बट मैचेस तो सारे बड़े हैं।
और ऐसे माहौल में जब इतना हाई टेम्पर है,
और मैं कभी इंडिया पाकिस्तान से इतना एक्साइट हुआ नहीं है, क्योंकि हर मैच बड़े मैच है। और मैं समझता हूँ इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया मैच में तो इंडिया को और ज़्यादा अच्छा खेलना पड़ेगा, इंडिया साउथ अफ्रीका मैच में इंडिया को और ज़्यादा अच्छा खेलना पड़ेगा हराने के लिए।
15 तारीख को जो मैच होना उसको लेकर उत्सुकता भी बढ़ रही है।
देखिए, इंडिया पाकिस्तान मैच तो हमेशा ही बड़ा मैच होता है, और आप वहाँ के लोगों से पूछें, यहाँ के लोगों से पूछें, हमेशा बड़ा गेम होता है। और उसके लिए सारे लोग अब तैयारी में जुट भी गए होंगे। एंड आई एम ऑल्सो लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टीम इंडिया बीटिंग वंस अगेन पाकिस्तान।
और नज़र किस पे होगी इंडिया की तरफ से?
इंडिया की तरफ से सब खिलाड़ियों में नज़र होगी, बट खास नज़र होगी अभिषेक के ऊपर होगी, सूर्यकुमार यादव के ऊपर। और मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ कि टीम अच्छा खेले।
When in Sri Lanka, you have to catch up with one of the mascot of Sri Lanka cricket, who's been a legendary cricketer, Chaminda Vaas. For years, I have won 2 points in quiz by saying your full name, which I'll probably tell my viewers. Varnakula Surya Patabedinge Usanta Joseph Chaminda Vaas. He sits here with me. What a pleasure talking to you right here, which has been your club, your nursery. Please tell us a little bit about, how this place made you what you are.
Well, thank you, Roy. This is my second home. When I started playing for school, from school age of 15, I joined Coles Cricket Club, and since I joined up to now, I still with the Coles, and my cricket career started from here.
left arm fast bowler, rare breed in international cricket. When you see modern day fast bowling, who do you think has, kind of replaced you on the international stage?
Well, there are so many fast bowlers. If I say Michelle Stark, Said Afridi, Trent Bolt, there are so many young fast bowlers coming through, but there's so much talent and there's so much potential because the game has gone to a different level. Especially when you play T20, you need to adapt and you have to be very smart when you play in the middle. The variation you have to execute really well, but the younger generation is doing really well.
In the current T20 World Cup, if you see the pool of bowlers, who's your favorite?
Justin Bumrah is the greatest, and the way he adapt not only one-day cricket, T20 Test cricket is fantastic. The mindset is totally different, and he absorbs the pressure, and he delivers to the team, and I think he's the greatest for me.
ये डे गेम है, इतना फास्ट गेम है कि आपके हाथ से स्लिप कर जाता है. चलिए 3-4 अच्छी टीम के साथ अगर 6-7 आउट हो जाए फिर वो दूसरे वो रिकवरी नहीं करने देती आपको. नहीं, देखिए हमारी पेस अटैक जो है काफी अच्छा है. ऐसे ही नहीं है. फॉर द लास्ट 7-8-10 ईयर्स हमने बहुत अच्छे पेस बॉलर प्रोड्यूस किए हैं.
आपको जरूरत पड़ती है अगर स्पिनर को किसी एक आध के ओवर खराब भी जाते हैं तो एटलीस्ट आपके पास एक ऑप्शन होना चाहिए, क्योंकि डेथ के ओवर, एंड के ओवर आपके अगर स्पिनर को मार पड़ रही है तो फास्ट बॉलर की ये भी चांसेस है कि जिस तरह की कंडीशन है, हमने आज भी कंडीशन देखी है, वहाँ पे थोड़ा सा रिवर्स स्विंग भी हो रहा था क्योंकि ड्राई स्क्वायर है, उस पर बैक टू बैक मैचेस हो रहे हैं. तो बॉल एक फास्ट बॉलर के लिए ये भी होता है कि डेथ के ओवर आप पेसर से कराते हो, तो आपके पास शाहीन के साथ एक दूसरा ऑप्शन भी होना चाहिए, विच इज़ फ़हीम अशरफ. उसने पास्ट में भी किया है, तो आई थिंक ये अच्छा कम्बिनेशन बन रहा है. और फ़हीम अशरफ का ये है कि नंबर 8 पे आके उसने लास्ट जो पहला मैच था पाकिस्तान का, बैटिंग में भी वो कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहा है और प्लस उसके बॉलिंग का भी एडवांटेज है.
Well, there's breaking news coming in at this hour from Tamil Nadu. We're getting important information that a DMK leader, Krishnamurthy, has been sentenced to jail. He's been, in fact, sentenced to a 3-year jail sentence. This is important to understand in context of the DMK leader, Shivaji Krishnamurthy. He's been jailed for derogatory remarks against the governor, R.N. Ravi, and a BJP leader, Khushbu. Important information that we're tracking at this hour coming in from Tamil Nadu. Remember that this is the poll season in Tamil Nadu. And amidst this, the DMK leader, Shivaji Krishnamurthy rather, has been sentenced to jail. He's been sentenced to 3 years in prison for his derogatory remarks against the governor, R.N. Ravi, and against the BJP leader, Khushbu. Apart from this, a fine amount has also been levied against the leader. On this, we have our colleague Vijay joining us for the broadcast. Vijay, walk us through the details with understanding that a DMK leader has been jailed.
That's right, Reid. DMK Speaker Shivaji Krishnamurthy sentenced to 3-year jail for derogatory remarks against Tamil Nadu Governor R.N. Ravi and BJP leader Khushbu. In 2023, when Governor R.N. Ravi walked out of Assembly, there was a public event organized by the DMK in which DMK Speaker, known for many controversial remarks, passed derogatory remarks against R.N. Ravi and even actress Khushbu and other women leaders of AIADMK like Kasturi and other leaders also. There was a huge outrage following his comment, and there was a case was registered against him following the viral video on social media in same 2023 in a police station, in Kodugayur police station. And then the case was going on, and even he was suspended from the party for a time being, and again he was re-inducted last year. And he was continued to be a part of DMK and was sharing diars and was doing campaign for DMK. But however, the case was pending before a court, and just yesterday there was a verdict from the magistrate court saying that he would be sentenced of 3 years imprisonment for Krishnamurthy.
Right, Vijay, also wish to understand from you, what sort of stance has the party maintained as far as the leader is concerned, and has there been any official reaction that's come about from the party after, of course, his sentence to jail?
No,
As of now, even when the controversy began, even DMK MP Kanimoli herself posted a tweet saying that no one can accept any derogatory remarks against anybody. But as of now, after the verdict, party leaders had to react. We have to wait for reaction.
Right, absolutely. And I also wish to understand from you, because this is happening in the poll season, has there been any reaction that's come about from the BJP with regards to this?
So when the controversy actually happened, there was a press brief, detailed press brief by Khushbu. She worried why women are being targeted in politics, irrespective of any party. She gave a brief saying that women are being targeted in terms of passing abuse to women, which is highly condemnable. Even many women activists and many political party reported Khushbu and other condemned Krishnamurthy that time. Even DMK leaders themselves distanced from such derogatory remarks. But however, the case was pending before, and now they passed order saying that he would be sent imprisonment for 3 years.
Right, absolutely, Vijay. Important piece of information we're tracking from Tamil Nadu this hour as the DMK leader, in fact, Sivaji Krishnamurthy, has been sentenced to 3 years in jail. On that note, slipping into very short news and updates on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's leading AI smartphone brand. Motorola Signature, India's #1 camera phone. Grab Motorola Signature today.
Front lines of Kargil, the fury of Operation Sindhu,
so many attacks,
the chaos and cries of disaster zones, to fighter jet cockpits, and the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break, live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France, in Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
This is not a regular promo. This script is written by AI. The visuals you are watching are created by AI. The logo, the design, all AI generated. Even this voice isn't human. Because if we're talking about the future, we can't explain it the old way. AI is no longer arriving. It's already here. Understand what AI really means for society, for business, and for you.
He brings the authority of leadership in a world where AI is redefining the balance of global power. Meet Rishi Sunak at the NDTV In.AI Summit, 18 February, on the NDTV network.
Straight from the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Raut, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
Across the country, he has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else, only on NDTV network. the sharpest minds driving the global AI narrative. Policymakers, founders, technology leaders. Global perspectives, Indian priorities. The definitive conversation on AI. 18th February, New Delhi. NDTV in.ai Summit 2026 on the NDTV network.
Alright team, our new order show is ready. Now we need a promo. Something cool, something sharp.
Well, I'm sure we'll be having outstanding reviews, solid suggestions,
Expert advice. The latest trends. It's a lot simpler. We'll help people make the right auto decisions. It's got the cool stuff, geeky stuff, serious stuff, all of it, so that you can discover, decide and drive. I'm Siddharth Sharma and I am your Automate.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
Across innovation, economy and ethics, he is shaping technology that defines the next era of growth. Meet James Manika at the NDTV in.ai Summit, 18 February on the NDTV network.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground. Very special.
You're watching India Sense with me, Gauri Dwivedi. This week, the focus is on Bangladesh and how the outcome will reshape ties with India. Let me first get started with the headlines coming. Tariq Rahman is all set to be the next Prime Minister of Bangladesh, ending months of uncertainty and volatility. For New Delhi, this ends a phase of deep flux where Bangladesh was governed by an interim, unelected leader. Jailed former Prime Minister of Pakistan Imran Khan has almost lost visibility in one eye. What happens if Imran Khan dies inside jail? How will this change the volatile landscape of Pakistan? What is Asim Munir thinking? We tell you. Boycott to backtrack. India versus Pakistan T20 World Cup match is back on the table. Pakistanis will now play India as per schedule because the 1,500 crore rupee bill that they had to pay was just too much. PCB cannot cough up that much money. The U-turn was expected. Trump-backed Save America Act is all set to impose new voting rules. Now, how will this new bill impact the Indian diaspora? We tell you. And from Bill Gates to Sam Altman, all roads lead to India as New Delhi gets ready to host the AI Summit on 19th and 20th of February. The focus will be on delivery, development, and making AI accessible for Global South. Big story this week, ending 18 months of political upheaval. Bangladesh is turning a sharp corner. Tariq Rahman is set to become the next Prime Minister, with his party, that is the BNP, getting a decisive victory. The victory also marks the end of BNP's being out of power for 2 long decades. Across the border, Prime Minister Modi has extended congratulations, indicating a likely diplomatic reset between Bangladesh and India. In fact, Dhaka is signaling stability and New Delhi is now watching intently. You see, Tariq Rahman is preparing to chart his own course. The Bangladesh Nationalist Party has won more than 2/3 of the seats contested, putting Rahman firmly on track to head a stable, strong government backed by a strong public mandate. The message from voters appears absolutely clear. They want consistency after the post-Hasina turmoil that the country witnessed. For Jamaat-e-Islami, the strategy to broaden appeal fell short. Its decision to field a Hindu candidate in Khulna 1 did not shift the numbers. The seat went to the BNP by a wide margin. Symbolism met arithmetic, and arithmetic won. Bangladesh outrightly rejected the Islamist bogey once again after 1971, and overwhelmingly the mandate could not have been clearer. All right, let's now tell you exactly the significance of this victory for Tariq Rahman, for Bangladesh, and more importantly for the India-Bangladesh relationship as well. First up, I'm going to play out some of those important statements that Tariq Rahman made, because that gives a sense of what lies ahead for the India-Bangladesh relationship. Now, on the 28th of May last year, he said, Bangladesh comes first, not New Delhi, not Rawalpindi. That's important, because under Mohammad Yunus, the Pakistan-Bangladesh relationship had gotten cozier than ever before. On 7th of October last year, he said, India will face resentment if it keeps sheltering dictators. That's important, because he's making a mention of Sheikh Hasina. He says, demand rightful share of water, will not accept attacks on our people. Now, this is with regard to the Teesta Water Sharing Pact. That is likely to gain momentum under the new government. On 18th of February, he said one-sided India deals need re-evaluation. And he says the ties must be on mutual respect. All of these are important, because some of these will have to be deliberated afresh. Some of these agreements and pacts will now come up for fresh negotiations. Saurabh Gupta, my colleague who's on ground in Bangladesh, joins us live on the broadcast. Saurabh, you've been doing a fantastic job of covering the elections for NDTV. You and I have spoken about Bangladesh at length in past. What, according to you, stands out the most in the verdict that has come out? Tariq Rahman's priorities and his roadmap right there. And what is it that the people of Bangladesh are saying to you when you've been speaking to them?
Well, it's clear that all sections of society have voted for the BNP, and that's something that's absolutely clear in the verdict. And the BNP, of course, is now preparing. You can see, of course, top leaders of the BNP coming in. This is Mr. Humayun Kabir here, who is, of course, also one of the close aides of Mr. Tariq Rahman. And, of course, he is someone who is advising Mr. Rahman. And these are issues that, the BNP will also have to take up. There are lots of challenges. Bangladesh has been in a climate of political instability in the last few months. There have also been violence perpetrated against minorities. All of those things will have to be looked into. And therefore, the BNP does have a challenge on its hands. And that's something that the BNP says they are prepared for, that they say that they have plans. And in fact, if you remember Tariq Rahman's speech and that famous line that he said, I have a plan. So they say that they have a plan to tackle the challenges that Bangladesh faces and take it forward. Now, the BNP over the next few days will, of course, take these plans, push it into action, and they will, of course, try and, make sure that they have the necessary team in place to take forward Bangladesh. That's what all of what is going on now is all about. And the BNP is, of course, now preparing to form a government that will be able to look into not just the challenges that Bangladesh faces domestically, but also in foreign relations, especially the relationship with India, and other challenges that also have cross-border impact and cross-border influence, which is also the management of rivers, water sharing. All of these things will be something that would be on the table when it comes to foreign relations, especially the neighborhood relations. And Mr. Rahman has made it clear that he wants the relationship with the neighboring countries to be based on mutual respect, mutual understanding, and that's something that he will push for. But this is a moment of reckoning for the Bangladesh Nationalist Party. It was in a challenging position. Tariq Rahman only arrived in December, but now he's led the party to victory and is, of course, going to be the Prime Minister of Bangladesh.
Thanks, Saurabh, for breaking that down for us and putting some of those developments in perspective for us. Saurabh Gupta live from Dhaka. Now, viewers, as far as Tariq Rahman's priorities are concerned, they are now cut out. This is a party that has come to power after 20 years, comes after a bloody student uprising. It comes after deep volatility. So what's the first thing he has to do? He needs to form, now the government needs to have complete stability, and it needs to reflect the people's mandate as it is. Remember, this is an election where there's no Awami League, so a lot of the Awami League voters have gravitated towards the BNP, and that needs to be reflected in the governance that Tariq Rahman will focus on. Second important aspect is institutional strength needs to be restored, bringing commissions and oversight bodies back to credibility and public trust. Now, some of this actually saw massive deterioration during Muhammad Yunus's tenure. Some of this will also play out depending on what the referendum results are, what the people of Bangladesh really want. And that needs to be reflected in Tariq Rahman's policies. The third important aspect is focus on long-term stability with regard to economy. The Bangladeshi economy has seen a sharp dip in the last 18 to 20 odd months. They've taken a $2.1 billion of loan from China, but can they do that anymore? They need to focus on textile exports. Bangladesh actually is now part of the global supply chain with regard to textiles, 12% of that. That requires work. Beyond that, there is minority protection that needs to be a key focus area for Tariq Rahman. And finally, the regional equation. You have the Bangladesh-India relationship, the Bangladesh-Pakistan relationship, the Bangladesh-China relationship. All of that is now going to play out in how Tariq Rahman decides to put forth a Bangladesh first agenda, but at the same time ensure that it remains inclusive, democratic, and has a forward-looking agenda. That is what Tariq Rahman needs to focus on. The trade between India and Bangladesh has been thriving in the past. That needs to now come back. And for that to happen, both New Delhi and Dhaka need to move beyond suspicion, build a fresh legacy of trust, trade, people-to-people connection. But now comes the real test for Rahman. Delivery is the important part, because in the world of high-stakes politics, winning is one thing, governing is quite another. All right, let's get in Monindra Nath, who is the acting General Secretary of the Bangladeshi Hindu Buddhist Christian Unity Council. And we also have Mehdi Amin, who is the spokesperson of the BNP Election Steering Committee and advisor to BNP Chairman. Thanks so much, both of you, for speaking to me on India Sense. Mehdi Amin, let me start with you. Congratulations are in order. Your party has won with a historic mandate. Of course, one may say that some of the polls were indicating a landslide victory for Tariq Rahman. Let me start by asking you, now this historic mandate also comes with historic expectation. What will be the priorities for the next Prime Minister of Bangladesh?
Mr. Tariq Rahman has already said it in a couple of his press conferences and also in his speeches that the first priority will be to restore the law and order situation.
Okay.
We want to ensure that the people feel safeguarded and protected. Second priority will be to ensure accountability and transparency in governance so that a government with public mandate can truly serve the people, where they can question about various policies, programs, and progress of the government. And of course, it's important as another priority to ensure that we truly uphold the democratic essentials, the fundamentals of human rights, rule of law, and freedom of expression.
All right, Mr. Nath, respond to that. There are some very reassuring set of words coming in from the BNP spokesperson, talking about inclusivity, talking about minority protection, talking about law and order.
Thank you very much. Already by this time completed 13th parliamentary election, and BNP got the 2/3 majorities. We thank you them. But there is a reality. We observe without any major incident, the election is completed, which we want. You know the history of the previous election, minority, when election comes, minority people always with fear and anxieties. But this year it is completed with peacefully. It is a good sign. Another sign is, minority people, 10% at present in Bangladesh out of total people. But only 2% from Hindus, 2% from hill tax areas, total 4% win in this election. There is a so big, it means proper representation in the parliament.
Yes.
It will not happen. Without representation of minorities,
I agree with you, sir. I agree with you completely. Without representation, there will be no focus on Bangladeshi minorities, particularly the Hindus. And while some of these reassuring words are extremely important, at the end of the day, representation paves the way for every aspect. You're absolutely right there, and I couldn't agree more. Mr. Amin, let me then ask you in terms of what next. There's expectation this could actually be a big bang sort of a swearing in ceremony for Tariq Rahman. It could be celebratory in nature, massive in its sort of grandeur and celebration, and possibility of regional leaders also being invited.
Hope on Tariq Rahman.
Mr. Amin, very optimistic, very hopeful that the way people of Bangladesh have embraced BNP, and we have seen the support from the international community as well for this democratic transition. Of course, it will have a great prospect for a global and wider integration.
Mr. Nath, what would you want from this government? That there will be a swearing in ceremony. It will be grand. It will send out a message. 20 years later, BNP will be back in power. Tariq Rahman says he's not going to just carry on the legacy of his mother. He's going to start afresh. What, according to you, will be that fresh chapter in Bangladesh's future that Tariq Rahman should be focusing on?
We want our minority community will live here with anxiety-free life. Not only they want to live here with their equality, their rights, and without any sort of atrocities. Long time in this country, minority people tortured or different during the time of different regime. We want Tariq Rahman in future. He must look this sort of incident in future do not happen in future. So it is very necessary, required. In that case, from the very beginning, we place different types of demand. As because for our existence in this country, we need so many like as Minority Protection Act, Minority Commission. This is very essential for us. But previous government not considered this. We just at this moment we want to the Tariq Rahman just to consider this sort of for equal justice for all
Bangladeshi
minority
minorities cannot be second-class citizens. They need to be treated at par with the Islamic majority of Bangladesh. I completely agree with you. And I'm going to ask you just that, Mehdi Amin. I want to ask you that question with regard to Bangladeshi Hindu atrocities as well. But before I come to that, Mr. Amin, I want to first focus on the India-Bangladesh relationship. One aspect of that is what happened with regard to Tipu Chandradas and several others. But that isn't the only aspect of the India-Bangladesh relationship that has seen a lot of volatility. In your assessment, how do you see that changing with Tariq Rahman coming to power?
Oh, yes, absolutely. We want to forge a relations built upon people-to-people connectivity, a relation that is pragmatic and sustainable, and of course, thriving on equality, fairness, and justice, which means it will be mutual interest, it will be mutual benefit, and it will be reflection of the sentiment of the people of two nations.
Okay.
And that applies not just for any particular country, for the wider region as well.
Okay, for the wider region, of course, you now want to have a larger perspective in terms of the India-Bangladesh relationship. Mehdi Amin, now come in on the aspect about Bangladeshi Hindus. Mehdi Amin, do you think the minorities of Bangladesh need that reassurance as Mr. Nath is talking about?
Pardon?
Absolutely, it will be paramount. If you see the political ideology of BNP, it's Bangladeshi nationalism, which means we as a political party believe every Bangladeshi citizen, irrespective of the identity, whether it's in politics, whether it's in religion, whatever ideology or faith we hold, for every Bangladeshi, Muslim, Hindu, Christian, Buddhist, we will and we must ensure the same rights, the same protections, the same freedoms. That's the ethos of a united Bangladesh.
All right, I'm going to wrap this up right here. Thank you so much, Mr. Nath and Mr. Amin, for speaking to me on India Sense. At the end of the day, this is the hope that all Bangladeshis have who voted for Tariq Rahman with that kind of a historic mandate. The India-Bangladesh relationship also is now looking to be repaired and built from here on. On that note, a quick break on India Sense. We return with the other big story on the broadcast regarding Pakistan. Stay with us.
As a leading voice in open technology, she is shaping how AI remains transparent, trusted, and accountable. Meet Amanda Brock at the NDTV In.AI Summit, 18th February, on the NDTV network.
इनको यहाँ से जाना ही होगा।
जय मां दुर्गा!
There is no bigger battle in 2026. And nobody has reported Bengal like I have. Buckle up for an unforgettable election thriller. Will the BJP breach Mamta's fortress?
TMC जावे, BJP आसमे.
Can Didi fight off her life's biggest challenge?
बीजेपी डबल इंजिन सरकार ए लड़ाई बास्ते होबे.
Battleground Bengal with Manogya Loiwal.
He is transforming AI from code into voice and from technology into experience. Meet Marty Staniszewski at the NDTV In.AI Summit, 18th February, on the NDTV network.
From 1983 to now, I have seen cricket evolve, but the mindset to win never changed. I tell you that what win matches and what doesn't. This T20 World Cup, let's talk cricket, controversies and more on NDTV.
Across the fault lines of AI and geopolitics, he is shaping how the world responds to its most transformative force. Meet Chris Lehan at the NDTV In.AI Summit on the NDTV network. The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live. Unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine and France in Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
This is not a regular promo. This script is written by AI. The visuals you are watching are created by AI. The logo, the design, all AI generated. Even this voice isn't human. Because if we're talking about the future, we can't explain it the old way. AI is no longer arriving. It's already here. Understand what AI really means for society, for business, and for you.
We shift our focus now to Pariah Pakistan, where it is no longer just about a jailed former Prime Minister. It is about who truly holds power in Pakistan. At the center of the storm is Imran Khan, once the country's most popular leader, and today he sits inside Rawalpindi's Adiala jail. Deeply weakened, This according to a court-appointed report, having lost nearly 88% vision in one eye after months of medical neglect. In fact, his aides call it inhuman treatment. But this story, viewers, is far bigger than just about prison conditions in Pakistan. Because even behind bars, Imran Khan remains the only leader capable of mobilizing nationwide protests, all the way from Punjab to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. And that makes him the single biggest political challenge to Pakistan's all-powerful army chief Asim Munir, since sweeping constitutional changes expanded the military's influence. Critics say General Munir now wields unprecedented authority. In Islamabad, Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif leads the civilian government, with his brother Nawaz Sharif still a dominant force. Opposition voices, however, describe the Sharif leadership as being politically dependent on the military establishment, and that's the way it is. Shahbaz Sharif is in power because of Asim Munir. And for Asim Munir, Imran Khan is a rallying point, a populist figure with deep grassroots support, a political brand that refuses to disappear. And here's the calculation. As long as Imran Khan remains politically relevant, he represents resistance. And if he is sidelined completely, the establishment may hope protests will fade. But Pakistan's recent history shows removing a leader does not always remove his influence. Behind prison walls, Imran Khan's future remains uncertain. And on the outside, the struggle over Pakistan's balance of power continues, which is why there is a high possibility that Imran Khan may not walk out of Adiala jail and his health condition may continue to deteriorate. Meanwhile, Pakistan, yet another U-turn by the country. It will play India in the T20 World Cup in Sri Lanka. After throwing gazillion tantrums, reality finally struck. Pakistan Cricket Board chief realized that there is no money to pay up. Commercial contracts need to be honored, except that the PCB chief had no clarity or clue about it whatsoever. This report tells you the many U-turns that Pakistan has taken, only to realize it needs to be back on the cricket field with India.
Cricket's ultimate spectacle on the biggest stage. India takes on Pakistan, but with a diplomatic dagger left hanging. Pakistan's boycott call fell flat and spiraled to such an extent that left Pakistan red-faced and scrambling. Pakistan came out swinging. A boycott threat framed as solidarity with Bangladesh, wrapped in the language of diplomacy and regional partnership. But with billions in broadcast revenue, hosting rights and international credibility on the table, Pakistan never had another choice. Behind the scenes, the ICC came down hard, warning Pakistan that boycotting a scheduled World Cup match would breach tournament rules and invite heavy action. With the tournament's credibility at stake, the message was clear: play or face serious consequences. Within days, the bravado faded, the boycott was off, Pakistan would play. The reversal was swift, sparkling ridicule. If the match was unacceptable one week, what changed the next? But in all this hullabaloo, Bangladesh were the biggest losers. A spot at the World Cup, exorbitant amounts of revenue and global eyeballs, all lost. The game goes ahead on the 15th of February. The stadium will be full. The world will watch. But the world knew all along the game was always on. Bureau Report, NDTV.
The global race for AI and digital governance is heating up. Countries are racing to control the artificial intelligence ecosystem, from critical minerals and semiconductors to data processing and manufacturing muscle. The US is investing aggressively in AI infra. China has embedded AI into its industrial and military strategy. The EU is shaping the regulatory guardrails, some would say overdoing it. But the AI governance is now shifting away from a lot of fear-driven policies to actual development, deployment, and delivery. And that's where India is actually charting its own course, or perhaps leading it. The India AI Action Summit is going to take place, where New Delhi will play host to AI leaders across the world. This is the first major international AI event to be hosted in the global south. Will cement that ambition, but this is bigger than just a summit. India moves towards its $7 trillion economy goal. AI is emerging as a force multiplier. Capital is pouring into Indian AI startups. Domestic large language models are being built for India's linguistic diversity. Semiconductor incentives are underway. Global partnerships are being forged to secure lithium, cobalt, and rare earth supply chains. Because AI cannot scale without chips, and chips cannot be built without critical minerals. Prime Minister Modi has called this India's tech decade. The focus now is on sovereignty, sovereign compute capacity, resilient manufacturing, and reduced dependence on volatile global supply chains. Artificial intelligence could add hundreds of billions to Indian GDP in the coming years. But the bigger shift, the deeper shift, is actually strategic. In the emerging world order, power will not just belong to those who innovate. It will belong to those who integrate code, chips, and capital. And India is positioning itself to do just that. All right, viewers, with that, we wrap things up on this edition of India Essence. Thanks so much for watching.
He brings the authority of leadership in a world where AI is redefining the balance of global power. Meet Rishi Sunak at the NDTV in.ai Summit, 18 February, on the NDTV network.
Straight from the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Raut, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
Across the country, he has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else, only on NDTV network. The sharpest minds driving the global AI narrative. Policymakers, founders, technology leaders. Global perspectives, Indian priorities, the definitive conversation on AI. 18th February, New Delhi, NDTV in.ai Summit 2026 on the NDTV network.
Alright team, our new order show is ready. Now we need a promo. Something cool, something sharp.
Well, I'm sure we'll be having outstanding reviews, solid suggestions,
expert advice, the latest trends. It's a lot simpler. We'll help people make the right auto decisions. It's got the cool stuff, geeky stuff, serious stuff, all of it, so that you can discover, decide, and drive. I'm Siddharth Sharma, and I am your automate.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
Across innovation, economy and ethics, he is shaping technology that defines the next era of growth. Meet James Manika at the NDTV in.ai Summit, 18 February, on the NDTV network.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground.
Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling.
They are now India's smallest but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad साहब ऐसे मत कीजिए Suddenly, people are wondering about the weaponization of India-Pakistan cricket. We live and breathe elections. You will not believe your eyes or ears when I show you what I'm about to do.
And for a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high altitude,
we're standing on the Indian Navy's newest warship.
The line of control, Shiv Arur, NDTV.
As a leading voice in open
Hello and welcome to Saveet Korsani. You're watching The Breakfast Show. We've got an action-packed bulletin lined up just for you. But let's first take us through the headlines of the hour. Cricket's biggest rivalry is back. India versus Pakistan. It's Super Sunday. The main character match will take place today. Of course, the handshake will be in spotlight as tantrums, tension and tests of nerves takes place today. DMK leader Krishnamurthy sentenced to jail. 3-year jail for the DMK leader Shivaji Krishnamurthy. Now the jail is for derogatory remarks against the governor R.N. Ravi and BJP leader. Tamil Nadu poll politics heats up. Stalin Jr. swipes at TVK chief, in fact, Vijay. Udinidhi Stalin questions Vijay over rally deaths. The Deputy Chief Minister's sharp jibe and says that Vijay must answer. Meanwhile, Chief Minister N.K. Stalin takes on the AIADMK chief, EPS. Maharashtra Tipu controversy snowballs into a big political row. Maharashtra Congress chief stokes a row. The Congress chief calls Tipu Sultan a great warrior and says that Tipu Sultan is equal to Chhatrapati Shivaji. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis slams the Tipu comparison. Civic apathy strikes Amchi, Mumbai as the metro pillar collapses in Mumbai. 1 dead and 3 injured in the metro accident. The question of course remains, were safety norms ignored and who is responsible for the collapse? Amid this, the lapses come under the scanner. Tariq Rahman's oath-taking likely on Tuesday. Prime Minister Modi invited by Tariq Rahman's BNP. As per sources, the Prime Minister is busy in fact with events in Mumbai and the External Affairs Minister S. Shankar is likely to attend. Some breaking news coming in at this hour from Maharashtra. Important to understand that this is in context of the Tipu controversy in Maharashtra, which is now snowballed into a big political row. In the latest update tracking at this hour, AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi has in fact slammed the Maharashtra Congress chief. Important to understand that Owaisi has said in our court that Tipu Sultan was martyred fighting the British. Apart from this, he also goes on to say that Tipu Sultan did not write letters to the British like Savarkar. This is the latest piece of information that we're tracking at this hour. Remember that this is in context also Tipu Sultan controversy in Maharashtra. Owaisi has further gone on to say that misinformation is being spread about Tipu Sultan. Let's also listen into the reactions coming in.
99 में टीपू सुल्तान की शहादत हुई, अंग्रेजों से लड़कर टीपू की शहादत हुई, जेल में बैठकर टीपू तुम्हारे वीर की तरह 6-6 लव लेटर नहीं लिखा अंग्रेजों को मैं माफ कर दो, तुम जो बोले मैं करता हूं। टीपू तलवार लेकर अपने मुल्क को अंग्रेजों से आजाद कराने के लिए शहीद हो गया और अंग्रेजों को टीपू से इतना डर था, गांधी ने अपनी यंग एज मैगजीन में लिखा कि टीपू सुल्तान वाज द एम्बॉडीमेंट ऑफ हिंदू मुस्लिम यूनिटी, यानी वो टीपू सुल्तान हिंदू और मुसलमानों में मोहब्बत का यज्जाई था।
Well, on this, we also have my colleague Sujata joining us on the broadcast. Sujata, walk us through the details. We're understanding that the Tipu Sultan controversy in Maharashtra has now snowballed into a big political row.
Well, absolutely. And after Maharashtra Congress chief Harshvardhan Sapkar has compared Tipu Sultan to that as a counterpart to Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, it is now Asaduddin Owaisi of the AIMIM who has now gotten up another controversy by stating that it was Tipu Sultan who did not lost against the British. It was him who sacrificed his life for the nation against the British, and that is how he's also compared the political discourse of Veer Savarkar as well, stating that it was Veer Savarkar who had written letters to the British and seeking forgiveness, and it was not Tipu Sultan. Instead, he also gave examples of Mahatma Gandhi and APJ Abdul Kalam mentioning Tipu Sultan in their books as well as their speeches, and henceforth it is that Tipu Sultan should not be disgraced as a leader in Maharashtra, and also it is being looked as a support that Asaduddin Owaisi has given to that of Harshvardhan Sapkar's statement.
Right, absolutely, Sujata. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing those crucial details with us. We're tracking more on this story coming in at this hour. Now, politics face-off has in fact erupted in Maharashtra. The Maharashtra Congress President Harshvardhan, in fact, Sapkal, has sparked a controversy comparing Chhatrapati Shivaji and Tipu Sultan. Now, comparing Shivaji with Tipu Sultan, the Maharashtra Congress chief said that Tipu Sultan ideologized, in fact, Chhatrapati Shivaji. Tipu Sultan was a great warrior and a true son of India. This is what the Maharashtra Congress chief has gone on to say. He further went on to say that Tipu Sultan and Chhatrapati Shivaji should be viewed equally. While hitting out at Harshvardhan Sapkal, Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis said that in fact equating both Tipu Sultan and Shivaji Maharaj is highly condemnable, and this is comparing both of them and it will not be tolerated. Meanwhile, Malegaon Deputy Mayor Shani-Hind has in fact defended Tipu Sultan's portrait in her office and said that she will put Tipu Sultan's portrait back in her office once the renovation work is complete.
छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराजांचं शौर्य ज्या पद्धतीचं आहे आणि एक स्वराज्य नावाचा त्यांनी ज्या पद्धतीने एक विचार दिला आहे, अगदी त्यांच्याच मांडेआळीमध्ये त्यांच्यानंतर त्यांच्या बऱ्याच कालावधी लोटल्यानंतर त्यांचा आदर्श घेऊन टिपू सुलतान यांनी इंग्रजांच्या विरोधात कुठेतरी लढा पुकारला होता, आणि त्या अर्थानं टिपू सुलतान हे एक शौर्य गाजवणारे एक योद्धे होऊन गेले, एक भारताचे भूमिपुत्र होऊन गेले. त्यांनी कधीही कुठल्याही विखारी विचारांना त्यांनी जवळ केलं नाही, तर एक शौर्याचं लक्षण म्हणून टिपू सुलतानांना आपण शिवाजी महाराजांच्या समकक्ष बघितलं पाहिजे.
कांग्रेस के अध्यक्ष हर्षवर्धन सपकाळ ने जिस प्रकार से छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की तुलना टिपू सुल्तान के साथ की है, हम इसकी निंदा करते हैं. उनको शर्म आनी चाहिए. छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज जिन्होंने मुगलों के साथ लड़ाई करके स्वराज्य का निर्माण किया और हजारों हिंदुओं को कत्ल करने वाला टिपू सुल्तान, वो और महाराज, इनको एक समान आदर दिया जाए, इस प्रकार की बात अगर कांग्रेस पार्टी कहती है तो वोटों के लालच में ये कितने भी जूते चाटे, महाराष्ट्र और देश इसको सहन नहीं करेगा.
जिस वक्त मैं चार्ज ली उसी वक्त तो फोटो मुझे दी गई, लेकिन जब मैं चार्ज ली तो ये काम वहाँ के प्रशासन का था कि किसकी फोटो लगी होनी. आप उनसे ये सवाल करो कि वहाँ क्यों फोटो लगी नहीं थी. मेरा तो फर्स्ट टाइम था वहाँ. देखिए, वहाँ तो फोटो सबसे पहले जो लगनी चाहिए थी वो हमारे राष्ट्रपिता की लगनी चाहिए थी, जिसने हमको, हमारा संविधान हमको जीने की आज़ादी दी, लोगों को हर तबके को बराबरी का सलूक किया बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर के. और बाकी सब चीज़ों के साथ अगर टीपू सुल्तान साहब की भी वहाँ तस्वीर थी तो कोई विवाद की बात नहीं.
We're tracking some more breaking news coming in at this hour. This is breaking news coming in from Uttar Pradesh, where the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has in fact spoken on Delhi pollution. Now, Yogi Adityanath has in fact made a big remark calling the Delhi in fact a gas chamber. This is an important piece of information that we're tracking at this hour, where Yogi Adityanath has said, and I quote, that cannot let Gorakhpur become another Delhi. He's also further gone on to say that he needs to keep Gorakhpur clean. An important piece of information coming in at this hour, as Yogi Adityanath seems to have made a big Delhi gas chamber remark. Let's also listen into the reaction coming in from him.
स्वच्छता पे ध्यान दें, गंदगी न होने दें, कूड़ा सड़क पे न फेंके, प्लास्टिक, सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक को नालियों में मत डालिए, सड़क पे मत डालिए, उपयोग मत करिए. ये नुकसानदायक है. देख रहे हो ना क्या दिल्ली में घुटन भरी जिंदगी हो गई है. ऐसे लगता है जैसे गैस चैम्बर में हो. एयर क्वालिटी इंडेक्स में 400 से ऊपर, दम घुटता है, आंखों में जलन होती है, श्वास लेने में दिक्कत होती है। डॉक्टर को बुजुर्गों के लिए, बीमारों के लिए, बच्चों के लिए कहना पड़ता है कि आप घर से बाहर मत निकलिए। इतनी खराब स्थिति होती है।
Well, obviously, my colleague Ranveer joining us in the broadcast. Ranveer, an important comment coming in from the UP Chief Minister, given the fact that it's in fact the BJP's government in Delhi. He's gone on to say that Delhi is a gas chamber and he does not want Gorakhpur to turn into another Delhi.
Yesterday in Gorakhpur, Yogi Adityanath was addressing an event, and he said that the air quality of Delhi and Gorakhpur is entirely different. So he said that Delhi feels like gas chamber, while Gorakhpur is very clean, very safe. So obviously after this statement, social media is asking that why Yogi Adityanath said this, because they are raising question that what is the message behind this? It's only about environment or it's a political message? So this is the question of social media and several opposition people, that why Yogi Adityanath said that Delhi feels like a gas chamber while Gorakhpur is very clean, very safe, and people are enjoying here. So what is the message behind this statement? It's only related to environment, clean air, pollution, or it's something political. So this is the question and is being asked, and obviously it's going viral. So Yogi Adityanath's remark is considered
absolutely,
like a political statement.
You correctly mentioned, of course, an important comment coming in from Yogi Adityanath. Of course, the implications of this have to be viewed. Meanwhile, continue to be with us on the broadcast as we track some more breaking news coming in at this hour. We're tracking some more breaking news coming in from Uttar Pradesh. Important to understand that Samajwadi Party's chief Akhilesh Yadav has in fact slammed the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. Now, Akhilesh Yadav has gone on to say that Yogi Adityanath does not know his identity. An important and scathing comment coming in from the Samajwadi Party chief, where Akhilesh Yadav has gone on to say that one cannot become yogi by wearing bhagwa. Of course, bhagwa refers to saffron in Hindi. Important to understand that Akhilesh Yadav has gone on to say that the UP Chief Minister should in fact show us his yogi certificate. This is an important comment coming in from, of course, the Samajwadi Party chief, who slammed the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, saying that BJP leaders do not understand Sanatan Dharma. An important comment coming in. Let's in fact listen into what Akhilesh Yadav had to say.
विधानसभा में गए होंगे भाषण देने, तो आईने में देखा होगा, तो आईने ने सच्चाई बता दी होगी कि केवल पहनावे से कोई बाबा संत नहीं हो सकता है, कान छिदवाने से नहीं हो सकता है।
अच्छा, बीजेपी की बड़े नेता,
ये तो हमारी गीता भी लिखती है। गुरु नानक जी ने भी यही कहा, क्या कान छिदवा लोगे तो क्या योगी हो जाएंगे आप? और जो दूसरों का सर्टिफिकेट मांग रहे हैं, वो अपना सर्टिफिकेट तो दिखा दें कि कौन सी इंस्टीट्यूशन में योगी बने हैं। इसलिए चीफ मिनिस्टर बिष्ट जी, जब उनपे कोई काम नहीं बचा है, तो वो जनता को धोखा देने में निकल गए। उनकी भाषा देखो, इधर चले जाओ यमुना और चंबल के किनारे, बताओ तमाम बाबा लोग रह रहे कि नहीं रह रहे? बीजेपी के अब उनके भी सर्टिफिकेट मांगोगे सबके?
Well, going back to my colleague Ranveer on this, Ranveer, of course, an important comment in fact coming in from the Samajwadi Party chief, who has in fact raised very important questions on the UP Chief Minister's identity.
Swami Abhimukhteshwaranand issue is escalating day by day, and after CM Yogi Adityanath's remark that everyone can't be Shankaracharya, now the political statement between BJP and Samajwadi Party is going on, and yesterday Akhilesh Yadav raised question over Yogi Adityanath being a Peethadishwar or Mahant of the Gorakhnath temple, and he said that no one can be yogi with a brown with a kesaria clothes. So the war of word between Shankaracharya and Yogi Adityanath, and also with Samajwadi Party and BJP, is going on over Shankaracharya Road. So last month, on the day of Moni Amavasya in Marg Mela.
Right, absolutely, Ranveer, thank you so much for joining us and sharing those updates with us. Well, moving focus to other stories and shifting focus to Tamil Nadu at this hour, well, it's a full-blown political face-off in Tamil Nadu. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has launched a scathing attack on AIADMK leader Edapadi Palaniswamy, saying that there is no buyer for the EPS's bid to defame the DMK. Meanwhile, Deputy Chief Minister Udinidhi Stalin has also taken a swipe at the TVK chief Vijay. Remember that Stalin has targeted the BJP, saying that the Dravidian model will not bow down, claiming that the BJP is the boss while the AIADMK is just a branch. He's further urged cadres to stop the BJP's entry into Tamil Nadu. On the other hand, the Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister Udinidhi Stalin has trained guns on the actor-turned politician Vijay, holding him responsible for a death at in fact his recent rally in Salem and even demanding answers from him.
உயிரிழப்புகள் அதிகமா நடந்துட்டே இருக்கு சார். விஜய் எங்க கூட்டம் போட்டாலும் உயிரிழப்புகள் நடக்குது. உரிய பாதுகாப்பு ஏற்பாடுகள்
இதெல்லாம் நீங்க வந்து யார்ட்ட சரியா நீங்க யார்ட்ட கேட்கணும். நானா என்கிட்ட கேட்கணும் நீங்க
இல்ல சார். சார் அவர்
யார் இதுக்கு பொறுப்பு எடுத்து யாருக்கு பதில் சொல்றாரு?
அமைப்பும் சொல்றாரு.
அண்ணாவே திமுக அவர் பார்த்து ஆரம்பிச்சாரு.
அவர் வந்து
Well, moving focus to another poll-bound state, Kerala, while the Congress has constituted two major committees for the forthcoming Kerala Assembly elections, appointing Ramesh Chennithala as the chairman and Shashi Tharoor as the co-chairman of the party's campaign panel. Well, just shortly after the appointment, NDTV spoke to Ramesh Chennithala. Listen in to the conversation.
Just wanted to ask you, see, one of the things eventually when you talk about the UDF in Kerala has been a lot of internal factions in fighting. People talk about it. You know, have you all had a discussion between you all on who will lead if the UDF comes to power, who will become chief minister? Has there been any preliminary discussion of that sort? How do we rationalize that the leader of opposition is there, the chairman of the campaign committee is there, there's Mr. K.C. Venugopal, there are other leaders as well. How do you all see this?
Yes, there was a preliminary discussion in Delhi. All the important leaders were called by Mr. Congress President Sri Mallikarjun Kharge in the presence of leader of opposition Sri Rahul Gandhi. We discussed threadbare of all these issues. And finally it has been decided that after the election, the High Command will decide about the Chief Ministership. So we all pledged that we will all work together. There is not a discussion in Kerala, party or outside, about the Chief Ministership. You know the Congress party has got a practice that we will not announce the candidate, the Chief Minister candidate in advance. So that system will follow. Everybody agreed.
Okay.
All the leaders agreed. And we are now working as a team. It's a UDF team. We are not speaking on different voices. We are speaking on one voice and we are working as a team so that everybody will go to the people together and express our concerns about the state of Kerala. For the last 10 years, nothing happened. Only our speeches. Nothing happened in the ground level. People are not happy with this government. So we have to go unitedly and tell the people what we will do for the people.
You know,
not only we criticize the government, we have a positive agenda for this God's own country. So I think that people will understand that.
You know, so two questions I have for you. You know, in our neighboring state of Karnataka, we are constantly seeing a power tussle between chief ministership. You know, Mr. D.K. Shivkumar constantly says loyalty works in the party. I'm sure there is something at the back of everybody's mind about who is going to eventually take the cake and take the crown in that bit.
Fortunately, we have a large number of leaders in Kerala. Not only in the front runners and in the second line leadership also. We have very good leaders. And we have a semi-cadre system in Kerala, unlike other states. No, Congress party, if you look at the entire country, we are not a cadre-based party or a semi-cadre party. But Kerala is different from other states. We have a semi-cadre system. People work in tandem. Even though we have differences, so many differences are there about the issues, perception. It happens. But now, after this Rahul Gandhi's and Khargeji's meeting, everybody has decided to work together, and we are not thinking about the chief minister.
Yeah. You have
this
to,
is to save the people of Kerala from the this autocratic rule of Sri Pinarayi Vijayan.
Okay.
That is the main idea.
Okay.
So we are all other to that. We are not deviating from that.
But talking about another MP, sir, we are in Thiruvananthapuram. What do you see Shashi Tharoor's role? Because he's also the co-convener of the campaign committee. Do you see him being utilized by the party? Because there was a sense that he was being undervalued by the party.
Do you all have breakfast together like this and discuss things?
Yes. Shashi Tharoor is a very close friend of mine. When he returned from the UN, I only pressurized him to come to politics and contested in Kerala. First I suggested Palakkad. Then he studied and said Trivandrum. We agreed. And Sonia ji was very also, and Rahul ji also was very much interested. Manmohan Singh ji also, that we should contest. We all agreed. One direction. And we are always very close because in Kerala we wanted to keep him with us. And he is an asset to the party. And he is traveling. In this election, we will utilize him properly. He will contest, he will go and campaign for every Congress and UDF candidates. We have decided that. He will go to every place and he will campaign for us.
Okay.
And after the meeting with Rahul ji and Kharge ji, now his mind is clear, his vision is clear, his thinking is clear. He is totally with the Congress. He has got some grievances. It has been sorted out in Delhi. We have already sorted out. We have no problem with him.
Okay. Sir, what is your relationship with K.C. Venugopal? Because in Delhi, there is a speculation that he is also a chief ministerial face and extremely close to the Gandhis. Do you see him as a colleague? How do you look at him?
He and Sadeshan, both are my younger brothers. I only promoted them during my political career. They are good people. They are efficient people. Especially K.C. Venugopal is doing well in a national level, and he is very confident. He is working hard 24/7 for the party there. Where to place all of us, it has to be decided by the High Command.
You leave that
nobody can undervalue K.C. Venugopal's contribution in the party.
Recent breaking news coming in at this hour. Important to understand, we have a comment coming in from the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, who has made a big remark on the Indo-US trade deal. Important to understand that the External Affairs Minister has said in our court that it will not necessarily agree on everything. Apart from this, he's also gone on to say that we are wedded to our strategic, in fact, economy. Important comment coming in from the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, where he's gone on to say that India is doing its own calculations. Let's also listen in to what the External Affairs Minister had to say.
For Russian oil. Does that not impact your strategic autonomy? Because that's how you were explaining it in the past.
No, look, I think, one, we are very much wedded to strategic autonomy because it's very much a part of our history and our evolution. And it's.
But can you exercise this strategic autonomy today as much as you want?
No, well, we do, and we've always done. I think it's something which is very deep, and it's something which cuts across the political spectrum as well. Where the energy issues are concerned, look, this is today a complex market. I think oil companies in India, as in Europe, as probably in other parts of the world, look at availability, look at costs, look at risks, and take the decisions that they feel is in their best interest. So I would say, and we have a position which on that. So I don't want to rehash the polemics of that. I think that phase has passed. Today, when coming to Munich, very honestly, I'm kind of coming here in the afterglow of an India-EU FTA and a very successful visit of Chancellor Merz. So I would rather, look, we are not in 22, we are not in 23, we are not even in 25. so many things are changing, and so many of us are doing our calculations and recalculations. It's important for us to say what are the touch points, what are the common grounds, where is it we can strengthen each other. We would not, we talk to each other quite often. We would not necessarily agree on everything, but I do believe that by doing that, and if there is an inclination to find common ground and overlaps, that would happen. But if the bottom line of your question is, would I remain independent-minded and make my decisions, and would I make choices which sometimes may not agree with your thinking or his thinking or somebody else's thinking out there? Yes, it can happen.
You are now.
Well, on this, we have my colleague Disha Bakshi joining us on the broadcast. Disha, an important piece of information coming in. Ever since the framework of the deal has come about, the Commerce Minister has diverted all questions on India's purchase of Russian oil to the Ministry of External Affairs. Now we have a fresh reaction coming in from the Ministry of External Affairs, where the External Affairs Minister has yet again reasserted India's position as a strategic partner. Now, I wish to understand how exactly does this translate in terms of the trade agreement that's been forged between India and the United States?
Remember, Reed, that what we have right now is an interim framework of the US-India trade deal. That final trade deal is yet to be signed, which is going to be inked. It's expected in March. And over the past week or so, the US has repeatedly reiterated its position, saying that whether it's US President Trump, but also Marco Rubio at the Munich Security Conference itself said that India has promised the US, this is what the US is claiming, that India has promised to stop purchasing Russian oil. But from the Indian side, from whether it's the, as you mentioned, the Commerce Minister or now Foreign Minister, we have made it very clear that our focus is our strategic autonomy, and our purchase of oil and our ties with Russia are part of that foreign policy. We are not going to be coerced or bullied by anyone when it comes to our purchase of Russian oil and our energy security. So that's exactly what
important point
Foreign Minister Jaishankar is saying.
Navarro, US President Donald Trump, several of Trump's aide have time and again reiterated that they want India to stop buying Russian oil. It's going to be, in fact, interesting to see how exactly does the statement go down with, of course, US officials. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing those updates with us. Well, the stage is set for a blockbuster Sunday in Colombo as India will lock horns with its arch-rival Pakistan in a T20 World Cup clash. Well, ahead of the match, Indian skipper Suryakumar Yadav has confirmed that the explosive opener Abhishek Sharma will play against Pakistan, while he in fact remained tight-lipped on the handshake suspense. While emotions are high even on and off the field, rain can play a spoiled sport as there is a high chance of precipitation that has been predicted. As the suspense grows over shaking hands with Pakistani players, skipper Suryakumar Yadav has in fact given a cheeky answer, saying wait till the toss. Listen into the reactions coming in on this.
Today in the PC of Pakistan cricket captain said that they want to have Abhishek Sharma to play the game. So can you tell us, is there any update on him? How is he feeling?
चलो ठीक है, if he wants him to play then we'll play him tomorrow.
Thank you.
Done.
दोनों टीमों को यहाँ देख के बहुत अच्छा लगा, लेकिन जाहिर है कल फिर एक शेक हैंड होना है, होगा नहीं होगा, इस पे क्या कहेंगे?
अब 24 घंटा रुक जाओ ना उसके लिए, इतना अभी उस पे पर्दिए क्यों डालना है? अब हम गेम क्रिकेट खेलने आए, अच्छा क्रिकेट खेलेंगे, वो सब कॉल लेंगे बाद में कल, वेट करो ना.
Well, that's all for now on The Breakfast Show. Sipping into a very short break, more news and updates on the other side.
यहाँ से जाना ही होगा.
जय मां दुर्गा.
There is no bigger battle in 2026, and nobody has reported Bengal like I have. Buckle up for an unforgettable election thriller. Will the BJP breach Mamta's fortress?
टीएमसी जावे, बीजेपी आसपे.
Can Didi fight off her life's biggest challenge?
बीजेपी डबल इंजिन सरकार এই লড়াই বাঁচতে হবে.
Battleground Bengal with Manogya Loiwal.
He is transforming AI from code into voice and from technology into experience. Meet Marty Staniszewski at the NDTV in.ai Summit, 18 February on the NDTV network.
From 1983 to now, I have seen cricket evolve, but the mindset to win never changed. I tell you that what win matches and what doesn't. This T20 World Cup, let's talk cricket, controversies and more on NDTV.
Across the fault lines of AI and geopolitics, he is shaping how the world responds to its most transformative force. Meet Chris Lehan at the NDTV in.ai Summit on the NDTV network. The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live. Unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right, Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France, in Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
This is not a regular promo. This script is written by AI. The visuals you are watching are created by AI. The logo, the design, all AI generated. Even this voice isn't human. Because if we're talking about the future, we can't explain it the old way. AI is no longer arriving.
The survivor's name, the victim's survivor's name.
Hello and welcome to a very special broadcast, viewers, where we open the vault on the Epstein files. We take you where few cameras have gone before, inside Epstein's empire of sin, and unmask the monster behind the money, the power and the mayhem. Make no mistake, these are not just fleeting takes that disappear like the morning mist. These are explosive, shocking, shame-soaked revelations that reach into the highest corridors of global power. A gilded world where sleaze wore a tuxedo, where sin rubbed shoulders with status, and where secrets, well, where secrets were the real currency. The world's most powerful financier, a man who dined with the who's who of politics, business, Hollywood, a convicted sex offender, and a black book packed with the global elite. Champagne on the surface, darkness underneath. And today on NDTV, we connect the dots, follow the money, and lay the facts bare. Some surprising, some damaging, but all bizarre and most certainly dystopian. I'm Gauri Dwivedi, and I'll tell you why the Epstein files have become the global tremor that's shaking governments, rattling reputations, and rewriting the rules of power. The U.S. House Judiciary Committee became a battleground for Democrats and Republicans as the Trump administration faces massive criticism for not fighting for justice for the victims of sexual crimes committed by Epstein and his high-profile clientele. From Norway to France to India, leaders are caught in the crossfire as 3.5 million documents indicate many high-profile A-listers came in contact with the disgraced sexual predator. Former Prime Minister of Norway becomes the latest to be linked to the files. And the heat is building up on British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who's seen two high-profile exits from his government, his Chief of Staff and his Communications Director. Starmer faces charges of impropriety. Is the UK PM now on borrowed time?
Now, governments around the world, leaders across nations are on tenterhooks. Millions of documents were released by the US government last month. The fallout of these revelations have been sensational due to the sheer number of people that have been involved and the sheer scale at which minor girls have been abused, raped, molested and trafficked. And worse still, many have been named as well. There is no focus on getting those young girls any justice. Who all have been named? What happens next? Will the victims actually get any justice whatsoever? Will it now be all about politics in America? All those are questions that we're going to get to in this special broadcast. But let me first tell you the story so far.
The long-running Jeffrey Epstein files controversy has taken a new turn, as survivors and US lawmakers alike push back against how the Justice Department released millions of pages of documents tied to the convicted sex offender. Jeffrey Epstein was a wealthy financier whose network of powerful friends and associates became national infamy after his arrest in 2019 on federal charges of sex trafficking minors. He died in federal custody in what officials ruled a suicide. But questions about who was involved and what authorities knew have never really fully gone away. Under a law passed last year, the US Justice Department was ordered to publish its files related to the case. But the process has been anything but smooth. Critics say the department's redactions were inconsistent, at times exposing personal information about survivors while withholding or obscuring the names of others tied to Epstein.
Child sex trafficking.
Many victims have voiced sharp objections to the release of their names and sensitive details online, saying it further compounds their trauma and privacy violations.
This is pathetic, Mr. Chair. I was curious.
US Attorney General Pam Bondi faced intense questioning from both parties over how the files were handled. In a combative session before the House Judiciary Committee, Bondi was pressed by lawmakers, including Republicans.
Anything about Epstein, not once, when he was... Weak sauce. And also, I want the record to reflect that...
Some lawmakers demanded apologies directly to the victims present in the hearing room.
Within 40 minutes...
Bondi pushed back, dismissing parts of the questioning as political theatrics. She insisted the department follow the law and promised corrections where needed.
Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush.
The controversy shows no signs of fading, with survivors demanding accountability and lawmakers sparring over transparency and justice long after Epstein's death. Closing the book on this chapter may prove as complex as the network of relationships the files have exposed. Bureau Report, NDTV World.
All right, viewers, let's now get you the names that are involved in the Epstein mess. And these are, in fact, names across the country. And by the way, at no point of time this list is exhaustive. Just a few out of those many who are in the dock across the world. You have Prince Andrew first in the UK, who was named. In fact, there were very serious charges. There was also a very damning picture that came out of Prince Andrew. The charge against him was that he raped a minor girl. He denied those charges, but he's now a disgraced royal, stripped of all his royal titles. Next up, from the UK, we now go to the US, where that is a picture of Jeffrey Epstein along with the President of United States. There have been thousands of references to Donald Trump. There are a range of uncorroborated stories. Donald Trump and White House have dismissed all those allegations, but thousands of references point and indicate that there could be more than what these files seem to indicate. Possibly there's more in the files that haven't come out. In the US, there's another big name that has come out, Elon Musk. His name also shows up, and the latest release is that email exchanges took place between Elon Musk and Jeffrey Epstein in 2012 and 2013. And in fact, they discussed visiting Jeffrey Epstein's island several times as well. Did he go or not is still unknown. The emails do not seem to indicate that, but the discussion of a possible visit to Jeffrey Epstein's island, the one where all those misdemeanors happened, was mentioned in those emails. Next up, we now move to Israel, where you see former Prime Minister Ehud Barak, who's also now in the dock. His name has surfaced repeatedly in documents that, and it indicates that the two were actually in contact. That is Barak and Epstein. They were in contact not for just a couple of times, but probably for years. He says that he never observed any inappropriate behavior whatsoever on part of Jeffrey Epstein. As I said, this is how the situation looks right now. There are still more documents that are yet to be released, and who knows how the picture changes then. Jack Lang, let's get you another name. Former minister in France. As I said, this is a global story. You can see across the board, country after country, where you are seeing names surfacing, and all powerful people. Former minister, former prime minister, former royalty, all of them in the dock. Allegation against him was that past financial links with Jeffrey Epstein, and that meant that he quit a plum job due to those ties. Is that good enough? Is that enough accountability? Well, those are questions that British people are asking, and the British public is asking these people. But now it's time, viewers, to tell you exactly how these Epstein files are reshaping American politics. The House Judiciary Committee hearing, if it's anything to go by, it seems that the Epstein probe and the Epstein issue is in fact far from over. This could actually dominate American politics going forward. And to understand this, let's get in Spencer Crishley, who is a Democrat political analyst, joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Spencer, thanks so much for speaking to us on this very special edition. Let me start by asking you, the fireworks that we all saw in the House Judiciary Committee indicate that this is now the main political issue in America right now.
I think that the scandal keeps getting worse, not just because of the slow release of these files revealing more and more damning evidence, but because of the behavior of the Trump administration, which gives every indication of an aggressive cover-up. If it somehow turns out that President Trump has nothing to fear or is not protecting his friends and allies, then their behavior will be inexplicable. And Attorney General Pam Bondi's appearance before Congress was just the latest example of this. She was not behaving as the people's lawyer, which is what she is. She is the lawyer for the people of the United States. She was behaving as a political operative, aggressively trying to protect one person, her client, President Donald Trump.
Donald Trump and the administration, Pam Bondi, they've all along said that, look, we are the ones who are actually taking this forward, and we should be credited for ensuring that we are taking the path towards justice, and the Democrats are the ones who are actually holding it back or have held it back so far.
Yes, well, as is so often the case, I mean, you can almost count on it with the Trump administration. This is the exact opposite of the truth. It's not just untrue. It's the diametric opposite of the truth. The only reason that law was passed forcing the release of the files was because that was what was required to get the Trump administration, the Trump Justice Department, to release the files. Now, Pam Bondi claims they released them in an act of transparency. They were digging in their heels and kicking and screaming to resist, to avoid releasing those files. Now they claim they were being transparent when they finally were forced to release them by an act of Congress. An act, by the way, which would not have been required if the president were not refusing to release the files. This is something that is well within his authority as president.
Okay, and needn't have gone all the way to Congress. Okay, but you know, I'm now going to ask you a big picture question, sir, which is that the Epstein files issue is obviously far from over, especially when you look at some of the other countries. But it almost looks like a done deal as far as America is concerned. It's tragic and shameful.
It looks clear that there's a lot of extremely shady stuff that's been going on involving wealthy and powerful people across the world, as you say, for a very long time, apparently going back decades. And so there's a lot of culpability to go around here, because it's a long time ago that Jeffrey Epstein was convicted and imprisoned, with a very light sentence, mind you, for the sexual abuse of children. And yet many of these people at least remained very friendly with him for years afterwards, which itself is shocking. But that said, now that it's all coming out, other countries are far ahead of the United States so far in pursuing accountability, as we see in Britain and elsewhere. Norway, France, they're pursuing this aggressively. And I hate to say it, but I think it's because at the very least there's a more intact sense of shame, apparently, among the elites in those countries, a sense of shame that is evidently entirely missing, at least from the Trump administration and its allies here in the United States.
Right. Pam Bondi, in fact, did not look at those survivors as well. And every one of them said that they weren't able to contact the Justice Department till now. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks much, Mr. Spencer, for speaking to us on this special broadcast. Turning attention now from the US to UK. As I said, this is a global story, not just about America. And the upheaval at Downing Street is now becoming even more intense as the pressure is mounting on Keir Starmer. In fact, several Labour MPs now feel that Keir Starmer must make way for another leader, since the charges are not just grave, but they also constitute several key violations. Now, the entire issue is that you have Peter Mandelson, Starmer's key aide, who's been named in the Epstein files, and it's alleged that he was actually trading important details. It was not just that he knew Epstein, but the relationship went far more than that. And that's an explosive charge that actually can bring down a government. Now, add to this the Tories that have been pushing for Starmer's blood. The Conservatives say that they lost their very popularly elected government under Boris Johnson due to issues of impropriety. And the yardstick should be the same when it comes to Keir Starmer as well. I'm going to play out that soundbite of a defiant Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, and then we talk more on how long he can stay in 10 Downing Street.
Making the decision to have appointed him in the first place. Had I known at the time what I know now, or knew in September, I'd have never done it. And that's why today I've apologised for the fact that I appointed him in the first place and I believed his lies.
The monarchy has taken action against Andrew, and yesterday is another example of that. I think as long as it is only an Andrew situation, then I think the monarchy will be safe. The king is popular, the queen is well received, and the two most popular members of the royal family are the Prince and Princess of Wales. So I don't, it tarnishes the monarchy, of course it does. But I think the monarchy as an institution is still there, and as long as it continues to have the support of politicians in Westminster and a good, clear majority of support amongst the public, the monarchy is pretty safe regardless of what happens.
All right, those were important sound bites coming in from the UK. Let's get in Nicholas Nugent joining us on the broadcast for his take on how long Keir Starmer can delay the inevitable. Or is it actually inevitable right now? Nicholas, let me start by asking you just that. What is it looking like for Keir Starmer? Can he survive this storm?
Well, I'm not going to predict how long he'll last. I will only say that it is very serious indeed for him. He seems to have ridden the storm last week and gained the support of a majority of the Parliamentary Labour Party. That's what matters. But so many voices have been raised against him, including privately from cabinet members. We don't know who they are, but there's so much criticism. But let's look at what this is about, because we've already lost the highest profile victim of this scandal. That's to say the British ambassador to Washington, Lord Mandelson. And that reflects so badly on the Prime Minister and his team, because they, against some advice, appointed him to this very, very important role. Of course, he's a gay man, so he wasn't implicated in the paedophilia or the misogyny.
That's an assumption, sir.
I'm sorry?
That's an assumption.
all right, that's an assumption. But the point I'm making is that he's being fingered for other reasons, for corruption reasons, suggested corruption. I mean, everything is assumptions, because the fact that people's names appear in the Epstein files does not make them guilty of an offence. I think that's a point you need to make very clearly, because all those people you've mentioned, we only know that they are associated with Epstein. They don't know of any particular wrongdoing in most cases, and that's what I'm saying. What's worrying about the Mandelson affair is that it appears to point at some corruption, breaching confidentiality.
Nicholas Nugent, thanks so much for speaking to us. Keir Starmer may be on borrowed time. He's lost political capital. His government is weakened. And that has been the big impact of the Epstein files in UK as well. We're talking about Prince Andrews. Well, I'm going to play out this report, viewers, that tells you about the disgraced royal who's now lost all his royal titles, given his deep linkages with the Epstein files. Shocking details in this report.
A dramatic turn in a royal scandal shaking the UK and reverberating around the world. Former royal, once known as Prince Andrew, has officially vacated his iconic Windsor residence, Royal Lodge. The development came in the wake of his brother King Charles III's decision to strip him of his royal titles and honours. The Royal Lodge is a 30-room mansion, long synonymous with privilege, power, and now controversy. In a symbolic end to his life as a senior royal, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor walked away from the estate that he had called home for more than 2 decades. The move followed an extraordinary decree by King Charles that saw Andrew stripped of the style and titles he once held. The resignation from this stately home comes amid intensified scrutiny over his past association with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. In a major embarrassment for Andrew, it has been reported that the King is ready to support UK police examining claims that the former prince gave confidential information to Epstein. His former wife, Sarah Ferguson, who also lived at Royal Lodge, has now moved out and is charting her own course, even as previously released documents have drawn renewed attention to her past correspondence with Epstein. As this royal saga continues to unfold, questions of accountability, legacy, and the very future of the monarchy now hang in the balance. With Vishal Vivek, Bureau Report, NDTV World.
All right, viewers, we're slipping into a very short break. We come back on the other side and tell you the story in India. Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri has also been caught in the crosshairs as far as the Epstein files saga is concerned. We play out what he said with regard to his name being in those files. Stay with us.
He brings the authority of leadership in a world where AI is redefining the balance of global power. Meet Rishi Sunak at the NDTV in.ai Summit, 18 February, on the NDTV network.
Straight from the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Raut, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
Across the country, he has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else. only on NDTV network. The sharpest minds driving the global AI narrative. Policymakers, founders, technology leaders. Global perspectives, Indian priorities. The definitive conversation on AI. 18th February, New Delhi. NDTV in.ai Summit 2026 on the NDTV network.
Alright team, our new order show is ready. Now we need a promo. Something cool, something sharp.
Well, I'm sure we'll be having outstanding reviews, solid suggestions,
Expert advice, the latest trends. It's a lot simpler. We'll help people make the
Now in India, Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri's name has cropped up in the Epstein files. The minister has clarified that he had met the financier just 3 or 4 times in his entire tenure, and that too in relation only with talking up the India investment. Listen in to what he told my colleague Padmaja Joshi.
If I have to step down or being asked to step down, then I think people are living in cuckoo land. There must be something else I would have done. But because I met a person 11 years ago or 12 or 14 years ago, actually 14, 2013 and 14, which is about 12 years ago, when I was not a part of the government, okay? Those guys had this thing. In UK, the storm is about Peter Mandelson. The guy was passing on information to him. Information which was tradable. And he was passing on information. This is a violation of all kinds of ethics rules. I'm not getting into, I know Peter Mandelson, etc. So please, if we have the ability to draw a distinction between one and the other. So,
तो कह रहे moral responsibility होती है, guilt by association.
Guilt by association, to meet a person twice. Tomorrow you go and commit a crime and somebody shows the clip of mine saying you're guilt or you met Padmaja Joshi and so and so. All kinds of things people will say about you. Yeah? And so just because I gave you an interview, meri guilt by association hogi. This Alice in Wonderland characters, Alice in Cuckooland, his father was a prime minister when I went to meet Mr. Prabhakaran, crossing the mines in Jaffna. Okay, and I flew him here for the India-Sri Lanka peace agreement. Now, because I met a terrorist, wo ho gaya. I mean, look at what the standards are. I said, listen, out of all this, if they want to come on something, I would advise them, don't take a 10-second clip from one of my interviews and put an AI generation on it. Please look at the context. What was the context in 2008? What was the context in 2014? As soon as we knew and we became clear on who this guy was, we cut our losses.
You've never been to the island?
No way.
Now, these Epstein files, viewers, are not a one-off headline. This is no flash in the pan. There are reports of at least 3 million more documents that are still under wraps. And when, not if, those pages see daylight, this storm could roar back, because this story doesn't fade quietly. It resurfaces, it reverberates, it rattles the rafters. But for now, the road ahead looks uncertain. The Trump administration has signaled there will be no further investigation, no new probe, no second sweep. And justice for victims? Well, for many that remains a question mark, and still not a full stop. The files may be closed for now, but the shadows they cast are long and daunting. Thanks so much for watching this special broadcast.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
Across innovation, economy and ethics, he is shaping technology that defines the next era of growth. Meet James Manika at the NDTV in.ai Summit, 18 February on the NDTV network.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground.
Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling.
They are now India's smallest but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad sahab, aise mat kijiye. Suddenly people are wondering about the weaponization of India-Pakistan cricket. We live and breathe elections. You will not believe your eyes or ears when I show you what I'm about to do.
And for a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high altitude.
We're standing on the Indian Navy's newest warship.
The line of control, Shiv Arur, NDTV.
As a leading voice in open technology, she is shaping how AI remains transparent, trusted, and accountable. Meet Amanda Brock at the NDTV in.ai Summit, 18th February, on the NDTV network.
इनको यहाँ से जाना ही होगा।
जय मां दुर्गा! आज क्यों रोए?
There is no bigger battle in 2026. And nobody has reported Bengal like I have. Buckle up for an unforgettable election thriller. Will the BJP breach Mamta's fortress?
TMC जावे, BJP आसपे.
Can Didi fight off her life's biggest challenge?
বিজেপি ডাবল ইঞ্জিন সরকার এই লড়াই বাঁচতে হবে।
Battleground Bengal with Manogya Loiwal.
He is transforming AI from code into voice and from technology into experience. Meet Marty Staniszewski at the NDTV in.ai Summit, 18th February, on the NDTV network.
From 1983 to now, I have seen cricket evolve, but the mindset to win never changed. I tell you that what
Hello and welcome to Sarit Parsani. You're watching NDTV. We've got a lot lined up for you, but let's first take you through the headlines of the hour. External Affairs Minister S. Shankar clarifies on buying Russian oil. External Affairs Minister says it will not necessarily agree on everything. He further goes on to add that we are wedded to strategic autonomy. Apart from this, he's also gone on to clarify that India can make independent choices. Well, cricket's biggest rivalry is back. India versus Pakistan. It's Super Sunday. The main character match will take place today in Colombo, Sri Lanka. The handshake hangs in, of course, balance. This comes amid tantrums, tensions, and a test of nerves. Tamil Nadu poll politics heats up. Stalin Jr. swipes at TVK chief, in fact, Vijay. Important to understand that the Deputy Chief Minister, Udinidhi Stalin, has questioned Vijay over the rally death. The Deputy Chief Minister's sharp jibe, where he's gone on to say that Vijay must answer. Meanwhile, the Chief Minister, M.K. Stalin, has taken on the AIADMK chief, EPS. Maharashtra Tipu controversy snowballs into a big political row. Maharashtra Congress chief stokes row. The Congress chief calls Tipu Sultan as a great warrior and says that Tipu Sultan is equivalent to Chhatrapati Shivaji. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has slammed the Tipu comparison. Civic apathy strikes Amchi, Mumbai as the metro pillar collapses in Mumbai and leaves one person dead and 3 people injured in the metro accident. The question, of course, remains, were safety norms ignored and who exactly is responsible for the collapse? Amid this, construction lapses have come under the scanner. Tariq Rahman oath-taking likely on Tuesday. Prime Minister invited by Tariq Rahman's BNP. As per sources, the Prime Minister is busy and the External Affairs Minister S. Shankar is likely to attend the swearing-in ceremony in Dhaka. Remember that India is among the 13 countries invited for the oath event. Well, tracking the top story of the hour, the stage is set for a blockbuster Sunday in Colombo, Sri Lanka, as India will lock horns with arch rivals Pakistan in a T20 World Cup clash. Ahead of the match, Indian skipper Suryakumar Yadav has confirmed that explosive opener Abhishek Sharma will play against Pakistan, while he was tight-lipped on the handshake suspense. When emotions are high on and off the field, the rain can in fact be a spoiled sport, as there is a high chance of precipitation that has been predicted. As the suspense grows over the handshaking with Pakistani players, skipper Suryakumar Yadav has given a cheeky answer, saying wait until the toss will take place. Listen into the reactions coming in.
Today in the PC of Pakistan cricket captain said that they want to have Abhishek Sharma to play the game. So can you tell us, like, is there any update on him? How is he feeling?
Chalo, theek hai. If he wants him to play, then we'll play him tomorrow.
Thank you.
Done.
Thank you so much.
दोनों टीमों को यहाँ देख के बहुत अच्छा लगा, लेकिन जाहिर है कल फिर एक शेक हैंड होना है, होगा नहीं होगा, इस पे क्या कहेंगे?
अब 24 घंटा रुक जाओ ना उसके लिए, इतना अभी उस पे पर्दिए क्यों डालना है? अब हम गेम क्रिकेट खेलने आए, अच्छा क्रिकेट खेलेंगे, वो सब कॉल लेंगे बाद में, कल वेट करो ना। देखिए कैसा है कि अभी एग्जाम में भी कभी कभी कोई क्वेश्चन आ जाता है आउट ऑफ सिलेबस, तो हम उस क्वेश्चन को छोड़ तो नहीं सकते, उसको टैकल करने के लिए आपको कुछ तो ट्राई करना पड़ता है, अपना अपना तरीका अपनाना पड़ता है, और वैसे ही हम ट्राई करते हैं। अभी यस ही इज़ अ डिफरेंट कैरेक्टर व्हेन ही कम्स टू बॉल, बट एट द सेम टाइम हम ऐसे ये तो नहीं कर सकते कि भाई सरेंडर ही कर दे। तो प्रैक्टिस तो हम करते हैं सिमिलर टाइप ऑफ बॉलर से, सिमिलर एक्शन से, और वही ट्राई करेंगे एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए जो हम लोग ऑब्वियसली नेट सेशंस में प्रैक्टिस करते हुए आ रहे हैं।
इस वक्त हमारे साथ क्रिकेट के दिग्गज सौरव गांगुली है। सर, कल इंडिया पाकिस्तान का मच अवेटेड मैच है, क्या लग रहा है इतने विवाद के बाद आखिरकार ये मैच होने जा रहा है?
अच्छा है, मैच हो रहा है और इंडिया फेवरेट्स है मेरे हिसाब से, बहुत शक्तिशाली टीम है।
इंडिया इज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग टीम, लेकिन ये T20 मैच है, कुछ भी हो सकता है, क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
हाँ, कुछ भी हो सकता है, बट ऑन पेपर इंडिया इज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग टीम।
क्या लगता है ये डिप्लोमेसी और क्रिकेट एक साथ होना चाहिए? आप हर बार बल्लेबाजी करते आए हैं क्रिकेट के फेवर में।
नहीं, क्रिकेट होनी चाहिए, मैं तो हमेशा बोलता हूँ, और मैं सरप्राइज हुआ था जब पाकिस्तान पहले बोला था खेलेंगे नहीं। क्यों नहीं खेलेंगे यार, हर पॉइंट इंपॉर्टेंट है वर्ल्ड कप में। अब वर्ल्ड कप जीतने के लिए खेलते हैं, तो उसमें थोड़ी मैच आपको विड्रॉ करके वर्ल्ड कप जीत पाओगे। तो अच्छा हुआ खेल रहे हैं, बड़ा मैच भी, पर बड़ा मैच सभी है। आज भी बड़ा मैच है, साउथ अफ्रीका न्यूजीलैंड, वो भी बड़ा मैच है। इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया भी बड़ा मैच होगा, इंडिया वेस्ट इंडीज़ भी बड़ा मैच होगा, तो सारे बड़े मैचेस है। इंडिया पाकिस्तान हम थोड़ा एक्साइटेड हो जाते हैं, बट मैचेस तो सारे बड़े हैं।
और ऐसे माहौल में जब इतना हाई टेम्पर है,
और मैं कभी इंडिया पाकिस्तान से इतना एक्साइट हुआ नहीं है, क्योंकि हर मैच बड़े मैच है, और मैं समझता हूँ इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया मैच में तो इंडिया को और ज़्यादा अच्छा खेलना पड़ेगा, इंडिया साउथ अफ्रीका मैच में इंडिया को और ज़्यादा अच्छा खेलना पड़ेगा हराने के लिए।
15 तारीख को जो मैच होना है उसको लेकर उत्सुकता भी बढ़ रही है।
देखिए, इंडिया पाकिस्तान मैच तो हमेशा ही बड़ा मैच होता है, और आप वहाँ के लोगों से पूछें, यहाँ के लोगों से पूछें, हमेशा बड़ा गेम होता है, और उसके लिए सारे लोग अब तैयारी में जुड़ भी गए होंगे। एंड आई एम ऑल्सो लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टीम इंडिया बीटिंग वंस अगेन पाकिस्तान।
और नज़र किस पे होगी इंडिया की तरफ से?
इंडिया की तरफ से सब खिलाड़ियों में नज़र होगी, बट खास नज़र होगी अभिषेक के ऊपर होगी, सूर्य कुमार यादव के ऊपर, और मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ कि टीम अच्छा खेले।
Well, big match today. On this, we have my colleagues joining us on the broadcast. We have Anushka Gar joining us from Noida and Ritik Mondal joining us from Kolkata. Anushka, I would like to come to you first. Of course, a big blockbuster match today. Two arch rivals battling it out on the cricket field. How exactly is the audience reacting to this?
That's right, Reet. As you have rightly mentioned, it's going to be a blockbuster Sunday, not just for the people in Colombo, but also for people in India. We are seeing a lot of anticipation and excitement on the hearts of the young players here. We are at the Noida Stadium. We'll try to talk to some young cricket enthusiasts as well as to what they are thinking about today's match. What's your name, sir?
My name is Sunny.
We are seeing that in this whole match, a lot of predictions are being made, and of course, because it is India-Pakistan match, there's a lot of excitement and anticipation in the hearts of people right now. So how exactly are you feeling?
It's feeling good, and maybe India playing well, and Abhishek Sharma and Ishan Kishan will be playing today is good, and Hardik Pandya is also.
आपका नाम क्या है सर?
निरंजन।
Right, it seems as though we're having trouble connecting with my colleague Anushka there, but coming to you, Ritik, of course, big day like I mentioned. What's the pulse looking like in Kolkata?
Well, everybody over here in Kolkata, waiting for this big Sunday match to happen in Colombo. Remember, when it comes about cricket and India-Pakistan match, Kolkata comes first to cheer for India. I also spoke to Dada, the king of Maharaja of cricket, Saurav Ganguly, yesterday, and he also said he's also excited. I have some cricket enthusiasts with me. Those have arrived this morning for early morning teas. We all are eagerly waiting for this big match to happen. Finally, that India and Pakistan is, playing together. What is your expectation today?
So basically, we all know that it's a one-sided match for sure. There is nothing we can deny that Pakistan will even give a single fight to this, because the Siraj's record in Sri Lanka, how he has destroyed the Sri Lanka in Sri Lanka. So basically, I'm expecting totally the one-sided match for sure. And obviously, Abhishek Sharma will be back for sure. And we will be the first team to score 300 in this Pakistan-India match in this T20 World Cup for sure.
I believe all preparations are done. क्या तैयारी है आज के मैच के लिए?
Basically, we want to win a big score, with a big score, and we want a century from upper batsmen like Ishan Kishan or maybe Abhishek Sharma. We need a good win.
Good win, इसलिए तैयारी आपके दिख रही है. जर्सी वगैरह सुबह से पहने हुए हैं.
Yes, 13-3 से अभी हम लोग ये टोटल T20 हुआ है 16 इंडिया पाकिस्तान के बीच, उसमें से 13 हम लोग है, 3 पाकिस्तान जीता है, तो आज 14 और एक विक्ट्री एक्सपेक्टेशन है.
विक्ट्री के एक तरफ महाशिवरात्रि की धूमधाम तैयारी, उस तरफ इन द पाकिस्तान मैच. क्या लग रहा है आज क्या होने वाला है?
सबसे पहले तो महाशिवरात्रि के लिए हर हर महादेव सबको. दूसरा बात है, आज हम लोग खाली खेलेंगे नहीं, हम लोग लड़ेंगे, क्योंकि कल जो हम लोग 14 फरवरी जो हम लोग बीते हैं ना, वो आज उन शहीदों को हम अपना जीत डेडिकेट करना चाहते हैं. तो आज का जीत हम लोग लड़के लेंगे और दिखा देंगे पाकिस्तान को, फिर आगे अपना शेर. यही बात.
The entire nation is waiting to watch a good play, a good cricket today.
So basically, it will be a good match, because we have been expecting this match to happen, because we want to see the Pakistan getting destroyed in front of Ishan Kishan, in front of Surya Kumar Yadav, in front of these Abhishek Sharma. I mean, it will be a lovely match for sure.
So what we can see, all are waiting with this their morning tea, but Kolkata is really enthusiastic. They're excited about this match to happen, and we are surely to see a wonderful game today.
Right, absolutely. Jyoti, you rightly mentioned, and as one fan put it, of course, this win is dedicated to all those who were martyred in Pulwama. Of course, he's in fact given a tribute to them. We'll keep coming back to you as and when more developments come in. But thank you so much, Anushka and Jyoti, for joining us and sharing those updates with us. Meanwhile, my colleagues from different parts of the country have also in fact filed inputs for us. Let's also take a look at how the reactions are panning out.
India versus Pakistan clash for the cricket fans is just more than a cricket match, and we are right now in fact at KIOC in Bengaluru, an academy that has given many great players to Team India, or for that matter to various IPL teams that way. Of course, with me a few budding cricketers in fact here at the academy. What are your thoughts about today's match? आप किस तरीके से आज के इंडिया पाकिस्तान मैच को देख रहे हो? किस तरीके से एक्साइटेड हो? आपके कोई अलग प्लान्स भी है मैच को आज देखने के लिए?
It's a good match. Actually, it's a big rivalry, India-Pakistan in cricket. And it's good that our team, if wins, it's a good thing in World Cup, because our batting order is very good, our bowling lineup is very good. In each part, our team is doing good. So, hope for the best tomorrow.
Well, when we see, past matches as such of India, when we talk about the bowling aspect as such, where do you think there needs to be a change, or how should the bowling aspect needs to be fixed at this point in time for during India-Pakistan match?
So basically, I think there is no need of change in bowling. Varun is doing good, Bumrah is doing good, Hardik is doing good with the new ball, Arshdeep obviously going very good. So I think there is no need of change. Stick to basics, and doing good is, I think, work for it.
So you say then no need of any changes, we are doing great, and we will, all that matches in the India's favour as such. What's your thought about today's match? Any a player specifically that you have an expectation or quite excited about it? Probably he might be your favourite player as well, if that has to be so.
Yeah, obviously hoping Abhishek Sharma is fit. If he's fit, we all know he can bat any opposition out. And just hoping India plays a normal game. Lately, with the record in the recent past against Pakistan, there's no real rival. So if they just stick to their basics and play to their potential, I think India should come through.
लगता है भारत जीतेगा?
बिल्कुल जीतेगा, और कौन जीतेगा?
क्या लगता है कौन परफॉर्म करने जा रहा है? आप
सारे ही करेंगे, सारे प्लेयर अच्छे हैं।
कौन ज्यादा कौन लग रहा है आज बैटिंग
ज्यादा
कमाल करने वाला है?
ओपन तो आना चाहिए अभिषेक को और ईशान किशन को, और वो अच्छा करेंगे, स्टार्ट अच्छा दे देंगे। मुझे
आपको क्या लगता है? पाकिस्तान कह रहा है कि हमारे पास स्पिनर है, वो कहता है कि हम स्पिन करेंगे।
इंडिया का बैटिंग अटैक बहुत ही स्ट्रांग है और वो उनको हर डिपार्टमेंट में आउटप्लेड करेगा।
So yeah, everybody is confident that India is going to really decimate, demolish. क्या सुनाना चाहेंगे आज के दिन भारत की टीम के लिए?
ये सॉन्ग मैं भारतीय टीम को ही डेडिकेट करूंगा। सुनो गौर से दुनिया वालों, बुरी नजर ना हम पे डालो, चाहे जितना जोर लगा सबसे आगे होंगे हिंदुस्तानी, हिंदुस्तानी हमने कहा है जो तुम सुनो।
क्या लगता है आज भारत की टीम से कौन करने वाला है?
मुझे लगता है हार्दिक पांड्या की रहेंगे और इंडिया जीतेगा।
इंडिया जीतेगा। वो तो कह रहे हैं हमारे पास बड़ा स्पिन अटैक है और ये स्लो फील्ड है, कुछ कर देंगे हमारे।
नहीं, उनके जो स्पिनर्स हैं वो भी इतने एस्टेब्लिश नहीं है, और हमारी टीम वेल प्रिपेयर्ड है और T20 में बहुत अच्छी है।
What's your expectation in today's match? What is the weakness of Pakistan and strength of Pakistan?
Pakistan's weakness is when Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan out means Pakistan will be very weakness. And strength is Pakistan's openers.
Okay.
And also their bowlers are very good.
Okay. So bowlers are very good. Can India manage Pakistan bowlers?
Yes. We have strength to play two teams in this World Cup. But by rules we are playing only one team. So here I don't think Pakistan will be able to compete with India, and it will be an easy win for India.
What is weakness of India? You know, without much senior players, we are going to face this match, right?
So before this match, we have played two other matches in which the middle order didn't perform. We were able to manage because they were associate teams, but now I think it would be a little difficult if the middle order doesn't fire now.
So middle order doesn't fire now. So what's your expectation on today's match?
India will win definitely because Pakistan, they are dependent on their openers, and many of those batters don't really perform well.
Okay.
And India, they have many backup players, like in opening we have Surya Kumar Yadav and Abhishek Sharma. In backup, Rinku Singh, Tilak Verma, many are there. So if the middle order will perform well, we can definitely win this match.
Well, like you heard, it's the biggest game in the world. Of course, the biggest cricket game, India versus Pakistan. And right now, the biggest talking point isn't swing bowling or strike rates. It's rain and handshakes, of course. Now, important to understand at the R. Premadasa Stadium, Drizzle refused to let the covers come off on Saturday, and neither did the captains lift the lid on the biggest suspense of the weekend. Will there be a handshake? This special report brings you more. Take a look.
A match under the dark clouds of Premadasa and politics. The obvious question was, will handshake happen or not?
होनी तो उसी स्पिरिट में चाहिए गेम, और मैं क्या एक्सपेक्ट करता हूँ वो जाहिर बात है मैटर ही नहीं करता, लेकिन मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि गेम वैसे ही होनी चाहिए जैसे पिछले जब से क्रिकेट स्टार्ट हुई है वैसे हो रही है, और रेस्ट तो फिर अप टू देम है, व्हाटएवर दे वांट टू डू। वेल यू विल फाइंड आउट टुमारो दैट।
And then came India's skipper, the ever unflappable Surya Kumar Yadav, who was asked about the same delicate diplomatic drill. His reply?
अब 24 घंटा रुक जाओ ना, उसके लिए इतना अभी उस पे पर्दे क्यों डालने हैं?
Prodded again, he reworded the statement.
Surya, you have broken the suspense on Abhishek, and on handshake, will you break the suspense? Because Captain Salman Ali Agha said that it would have been great to go back to the old times. So, if you can break the suspense on that.
कल कर देता हूँ ना ब्रेक सस्पेंस, अभी तो बताया मैंने उनको 24 घंटे आप रुक जाओ, अच्छा गेम खेलेंगे, फिर गेम के बाद अभी इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है आप बताओ? कल गेम इंपॉर्टेंट है, पहले गेम खेलेंगे उसके बाद टॉस का टॉस पे देखेंगे ना, अभी आप रुक जाओ ना 24 घंटा।
In other words, can we wait 24 hours before turning this into a summit meeting? Classic sky, straight bat, soft hands.
When you play a India-Pak game, it's more about the occasion. It's a occasion. It's a big platform, obviously. तो अब कितना भी बोल लो आप कि it's just another game, जाके हमको क्रिकेट खेलना है, back of the mind human tendency है कि आपको पता है कि आप कौन सा गेम खेलने जा रहे हो, एंड वी डोंट प्ले देम ऑफन एज वेल, तो हम लोग रेगुलर खेलते भी नहीं है उनको. बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे वो हम जो ट्राई करते हैं चीजें सिंपल रखने के लिए, कि हमने जो भी मेहनत की है अभी तक, जो भी हम प्रैक्टिस करते हुए आ रहे हैं, वही ट्राई करते हैं गेम्स में एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए, और जो हमारा बेस्ट फुट फॉरवर्ड है वही ट्राई करते हैं प्लेस करने ग्राउंड पे.
Keep things simple in the most complicated rivalry in sport. Because this is never just cricket. It is context, it's history, it's headlines waiting to happen. So while Colombo watches the skies, the world watches body language.
Drizzle didn't allow covers to be removed from the Premadasa pitch for most of Saturday, and neither did Captain Surya remove the covers from the big suspense whether or not there will be handshake when India and Pakistan meet. And that will definitely add an extra edge to the clash of the arch rivals here in the Emerald Island. At the Premadasa Stadium in Colombo, this is Rika Roy for NDTV.
Well, there was no clarity on handshake, but clarity on Abhishek Sharma from Captain Suryakumar Yadav. Yes, while diplomacy remains pending, batting orders are getting sorted. Well, this special report brings you more. Take a look.
Pakistan skipper Salman Ali Agha set the tone first, extending both sportsmanship and selection pressure.
I really hope obviously we all know he's a good player, and I really hope he play tomorrow because we want to play against the best team they have, and I really hope he's recovering well and can play tomorrow.
That was premium rivalry etiquette. And then came India captain Suryakumar Yadav with a cheeky mic drop that virtually confirmed the Punjab Dashers' return.
सामने वाले कैप्टन ने बोला कि अभिषेक शर्मा खेलेंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा, तो मैंने बोल दिया कि चलो खिला देंगे. वही मैं बोलता हूँ, चलो खिला देंगे उसको कल, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है.
Surya even watched Abhishek bat in the net Saturday before Colombo drizzle called time out on practice.
A rainbow was seen over the Premadasa Stadium on Saturday, perhaps signifying an enthralling contest between India and Pakistan on Sunday. Ahead of the clash, despite India's overwhelming T20 record against Pakistan, Captain Surya preferred to wear the cloak of the underdog, saying that Pakistan may be slightly at an advantage in Colombo, having reached here days ahead of the Indian cricket team.
They're playing some good cricket. Also playing here, they have a little bit of advantage, but then that's okay. We've also played a lot of cricket here.
Meanwhile, Salman Ali Agha leaned into it. Their T20 record against India may read 13-3, but this one came with Colombo seasoning.
Well, being in Sri Lanka, obviously we know the climatize and we know the pitch, how it's going to behave. And yeah, we are well prepared with that, and hopefully it does help us, and I don't mind if it's help us. But another day, as I said earlier, we have to play a good cricket to win a game.
The skies will be heavy, the stakes heavier. On Sunday, Colombo will become a coliseum, and only one flag will fly at the end of the night. Rain or shine, rivalry will take center stage. India and Pakistan are set to write another high-voltage chapter in Colombo. In Colombo, Rika Roy for NDTV.
While moving focus to other stories coming in at this hour, while politics is heating up in Maharashtra over remarks on Tipu Sultan. The controversy began after Maharashtra Congress President Harshvardhan Sabkar compared Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj with Tipu Sultan, calling Tipu Sultan a great warrior and a true son of India. While Sabkar said that Tipu ideologized in fact Shivaji and both leaders should be viewed equally. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis hit back sharply, terming the comparison as highly condemnable and even warning that equating Shivaji Maharaj with Tipu Sultan will not be tolerated. Meanwhile, in Malegaon, Deputy Mayor Shah-e-Hind in fact defended keeping Tipu Sultan's portrait in her office, saying that it will be put back again once the renovation work is completed. Adding fuel to the fire, AIMIM Chief Asaduddin Owaisi has now entered the debate, calling Tipu Sultan a martyr who fought the British, contrasting him with Veer Savarkar and citing APJ Abdul Kalam's Wings of Fire and Mahatma Gandhi's writing to underline Tipu Sultan's legacy. Take a look at the reactions coming in.
छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराजांचं शौर्य ज्या पद्धतीचं आहे आणि एक स्वराज्य नावाचा त्यांनी जो ज्या पद्धतीने एक विचार दिला आहे, अगदी त्यांच्याच मांडेआळीमध्ये त्यांच्यानंतर त्यांच्या बऱ्याच कालावधी लोटल्यानंतर त्यांचा आदर्श घेऊन टिपू सुलतान यांनी इंग्रजांच्या विरोधात कुठेतरी लढा पुकारला होता आणि त्या अर्थानं टिपू सुलतान हे एक शौर्य गाजवणारे एक योद्धे होऊन गेले, एक भारताचे भूमिपुत्र होऊन गेले. त्यांनी कधीही कुठल्याही विखारी विचारांना त्यांनी जवळ केलं नाही. तर एक शौर्याचं लक्षण म्हणून टिपू सुलतानांना आपण शिवाजी महाराजांच्या समकक्ष बघितलं पाहिजे.
कांग्रेस के अध्यक्ष हर्षवर्धन सपकाळ ने जिस प्रकार से छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की तुलना टिपू सुल्तान के साथ की है, हम इसकी निंदा करते हैं. उनको शर्म आनी चाहिए. छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज जिन्होंने मुगलों के साथ लड़ाई करके स्वराज्य का निर्माण किया और हजारों हिंदुओं को कत्ल करने वाला टिपू सुल्तान, वो और महाराज, इनको एक समान आदर दिया जाए, इस प्रकार की बात अगर कांग्रेस पार्टी कहती है तो वोटों के लालच में ये कितने भी जूते चाटे, महाराष्ट्र और देश इसको सहन नहीं करेगा.
जिस वक्त मैं चार्ज ली उसी वक्त तो फोटो मुझे दी गई, लेकिन जब मैं चार्ज ली तो ये काम वहाँ के प्रशासन का था कि किसकी फोटो लगी होनी. आप उनसे ये सवाल करो कि वहाँ क्यों फोटो लगी नहीं थी. मेरा तो फर्स्ट टाइम था वहाँ. देखिए, वहाँ तो फोटो सबसे पहले जो लगनी चाहिए थी वो हमारे राष्ट्रपिता की लगनी चाहिए थी, जिसने हमको, हमारा संविधान हमको जीने की आज़ादी दी, लोगों को हर तबके को बराबरी का सलूक किया बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर के. और बाकी सब चीज़ों के साथ अगर टिपू सुल्तान साहब की भी वहाँ तस्वीर थी तो कोई विवाद की बात नहीं.
99 में टीपू सुल्तान की शहादत हुई, अंग्रेजों से लड़कर टीपू की शहादत हुई. जेल में बैठकर टीपू तुम्हारे वीर की तरह 6 लव लेटर नहीं लिखा अंग्रेजों को मैं माफ कर दो, तुम जो बोले मैं करता हूं. टीपू तलवार लेकर अपने मुल्क को अंग्रेजों से आजाद कराने के लिए शहीद हो गया. और अंग्रेजों को टीपू से इतना डर था, गांधी ने अपनी यंग एज मैगजीन में लिखा कि टीपू सुल्तान वॉज द एम्बॉडीमेंट ऑफ हिंदू मुस्लिम यूनिटी. यानी वो टीपू सुल्तान हिंदू और मुसलमानों में मोहब्बत का यज्जाई था.
Congress party has lost its mental balance in vote bank politics. Now it has stooped to the newest low, and they have compared Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj to Tipu Sultan. Can Tipu Sultan, who's a murderer of Hindus, a person who's the most controversial figure, be compared to Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, the great son of Mahabharati, the great son of Maharashtra, who's like a god for all of us? First they have insulted Savarkar ji, now they're insulting Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, they have insulted Ambedkar ji, they have insulted Sardar Patel. To just appease one vote bank and to make one family look good, they will keep insulting our national icons. No less than the removal of Maharashtra Congress chief will be acceptable. Congress party should apologize. People of Maharashtra will never forgive them.
While moving focus to other stories coming in at this hour, it's a full-blown political face-off in Tamil Nadu. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has launched a sharp attack on AIADMK leader Edeppadi Palaniswamy, saying that there is no buyer for the EPS's bid to defame the DMK. Meanwhile, Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister Udinidhi Stalin has also taken a jibe at the TVK Chief Vijay. Meanwhile, M.K. Stalin has also targeted the BJP, saying that the dividend model will not bow down, claiming that the BJP is the boss while the AIADMK is just a branch. He has in fact even urged the cadre to stop the BJP's entry into Tamil Nadu. On the other hand, the Deputy Chief Minister Udinidhi Stalin has trained guns on the actor-turned-politician Vijay, holding him responsible for a death at his recent rally and even demanding answers from him.
யார் இதுக்கு பொறுப்பு எடுத்து யாருக்கு பதில் சொல்றாரு? திமுக அவர் பார்த்து ஆரம்பிச்சாரு.
While shifting focus to Bangladesh, now Bangladesh's Chief Election Commissioner is expected to administer the oath of office to the new government led by the Bangladesh Nationalist Party chairman Tariq Rahman on the 17th of February, as per the party. While Rahman, meanwhile, has reached out to all parties that contested the February 12th parliamentary election and even said that political parties may have differing paths, but on the issue of national interest, they all must reunite. He even urged BNP colleagues to ensure that no unpleasant incidents occur anywhere in Bangladesh in the post-poll scenario. Meanwhile, sources have told NDTV that the Prime Minister has been invited for the swearing-in, but owing to prior commitments in Mumbai on the 17th of February, it's likely that the External Affairs Minister S. Shankar or the Vice President C.P. Radhakrishnan could represent India to attend the swearing-in ceremony of Tariq Rahman in Dhaka. On that note, slipping into a very short break, more news and updates on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's leading AI smartphone brand. Motorola Signature, India's #1 camera phone. Grab Motorola Signature today.
Across the fault lines of AI and geopolitics, he is shaping how the world responds to its most transformative force. Meet Chris Lehan at the NDTV in.ai Summit on the NDTV network. The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Center.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France, in Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
This is not a regular promo. This script is written by AI. The visuals you are watching are created by AI. The logo, the design, all AI generated. Even this voice isn't human. Because if we're talking about the future, we can't explain it the old way. AI is no longer arriving. It's already here. Understand what AI really means for society, for business, and for you.
He brings the authority of leadership in a world where AI is redefining the balance of global power. Meet Rishi Sunak at the NDTV in.ai Summit, 18 February, on the NDTV network.
Straight from the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world.
Sovereignty in the 21st century is not just about political individuality, but about digital independence. Around the physical world and digital, achieving AI sovereignty has become national imperatives. The future of humans and prosperity of nations hang in balance. At stake is the development of intelligence and the growing prowess of thinking machines. Marching forward on still nascent pathways, it is evident that whosoever controls the maximum number of AI models and develops indigenous LLMs will control the emerging world. Global AI power for now seemingly remains concentrated in the US and China, with India going all out to change the status quo. AI in the world of artificial bias can be as silly as human ones. Low-end, free-to-use, accessible to all, AI platforms often deliver standard or stereotypical responses. An image creation prompt for Indians might produce exaggerated traditional attire, specific religious symbols, or even very cliched skin tones. Machine biases reflect the data they are trained on. Ironically, the dominance of Western perspectives cloud deliverance, as does technical limitations in understanding cultural diversity. Though facing the formidable challenge of developing indigenous large language models or LLMs capable of competing with these global giants, Indian AI companies are fast overtaking set standards. Enter Sarvam. In May 2025, Sarvam AI launched its large language module that powers chatbots and virtual assistants, translating from English into Indian languages, transcribing Indian languages from voice to text, and vice versa. Sarvam AI has drawn praise for its understanding of the cultural context and local data sets, something that is of vital importance to a diverse society like India.
For all of us in tech, that's the real paradigm shift. India is known as this big consumer of tech and AI. So from consuming AI to building AI which is tuned for our reality, India's version of things, I think that's the big shift.
Faced with the challenge of developing indigenous LLMs capable of competing with global giants, Sarvam is but one of the modules supported by the Indian AI mission in its efforts to make India an AI superpower. Estimates are that over the next decade, the adoption of artificial intelligence across sectors is expected to add around $20 trillion to the global economy. A combination of a large STEM workforce, expanding R&D ecosystem, and growing digital and technology capabilities positions India to potentially capture 10 to 15% of this global AI value addition. At the World Economic Forum in Davos, IBM CEO Arvind Krishna praised the Indian government's efforts to build a domestic AI ecosystem.
It actually comes down to the word independence or sovereignty. I think you would call it Viksit Bharat. When something is so important that is going to be used for the next many decades, it could be incredibly expensive, or perhaps it's not in your control if you get it from outside, then you must have capability within the country. because I believe that small models are catching up to the capability of large models for perhaps 95% of all that you do. So how do you encourage that ecosystem, be it the underlying semiconductors, be it the model building, and actually most importantly, which the world doesn't worry about yet, the usage applications, which is where I think the breakthrough will come for India locally.
I present the budget for the year 2026-2027. Several innovative ideas were shared.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced during Budget 2026 that India will provide a tax holiday till 2047 to any foreign company using data centers built in the country. Google has already announced that it will invest $15 billion in an AI data center project in Andhra Pradesh, while Microsoft and Amazon have poured billions into data centers in India. At a press conference at the 3D Experience World event in Houston, USA, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang said, "Look at the Internet of India. The amount of jobs that it has created upstream as well as downstream as a result of the Internet. Incredible. Same thing. Artificial intelligence can do exactly the same thing." In 2025, India became one of the largest users of AI in the world. ChatGPT and Perplexity usage in India was among the highest in the world. AI in India is already penetrating increasingly diverse and novel aspects of digital lives. Tadoba Andhari Tiger Reserve. Smart AI cameras and real-time detection systems are in place, identifying movement of wild animals approaching village boundaries. Unlike conventional CCTV, these cameras do not just record, they understand. Trained on Indian wildlife and terrain, the system classifies species, tracks movements, and sends automated alerts to forest officials and villagers within seconds. This early warning system gives communities time to react, forest teams time to respond, and animals a safe route back into protected zones. What once took hours now happens in moments. This is not imported technology adapted for India. It is AI built in India for Indian realities.
When you think about a deployment in a hostile environment, if I can use that word, I have to reduce my power consumption. I cannot be running on a full grid system every time. I have very limited data accessibility. It's not a complete 4G network that you put everything on cloud and analyze. I have to have redundancies built into the system because system can't go down when the tiger comes in or elephant comes in, and so on. So those were critical factors which I see the technology bridge those gaps in last couple of years with very powerful embedded systems coming up. AI algorithms becoming powerful as well as very efficient. Now in next 4 years, the depth of AI, the impact of AI would be touched even by the last person sitting on the most remotest village of our country, which would be in form of service deliveries, which would be in form of access to credit, to which would be in form of access to government services, even anything. So that would be there, and there are a lot of state governments that have already taken steps in that direction.
Artificial intelligence is the ability of machines to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence. An AI learns to recognize patterns, and over time it begins to reason, to make decisions and communicate just as humans do. AI models improve as they are fed more data. The more information they consume, the more accurate and human-like they become in their responses. An AI trained on vast amounts of diverse data can perform better and understand more nuances. Take, for example, an Indian AI that works on vast Indian databases to spot vulnerability in child safety. This AI-powered child protection platform analyzes nationwide social, geographic, and digital signals to generate early warning insights at a scale no human system could ever manage alone. For decades, the response to child marriage and trafficking was reactive, intervening only after a crime had already occurred. But AI is fast changing all of that.
AI has two roles, right? We see it also as one of the potential big forces that can cause undeniable harm to children, with the whole generation of child sexual exploitative and abuse material that we have seen. But at the same time, used constructively, used as a social good, used with the values of trust, collaboration, and with the right intent, it has the potential to predict a response mechanism, give actionable intelligence. We're using that in child marriages, mapping all the religious points in a village, and this is work that we are rolling out in more than 400 districts.
The World Economic Forum says that of the 170 million new jobs projected to be created this decade, the rise of AI-powered tools may actually threaten to automate as many roles as it creates. The loss in human resource would be particularly high in white-collar, entry-level roles. The World Economic Forum's 2025 Future of Jobs report also provided a silver lining to the otherwise negative mood. The report projected that 77% of companies plan to retrain or upskill their workforce to work alongside AI. In recent years, India has taken several steps to strengthen its AI ecosystem, from expanding national compute capacity to 34,000 GPUs in 2025 to introducing production-linked incentive schemes for semiconductor manufacturing and broadening internet access to over 1 billion users.
The way the entire AI model scenario is today changing, we must focus on the innovative pieces, the engineering innovation which can give us a leverage over the huge capital which is required in the conventional ways of training AI models. So we must use that as our strength, and that is what we are doing in the 6 models which are getting developed. 2 of the models will be of the 120 billion parameter order, and I think this will provide us a good base where the models are not biased the way the Western models are. They are trained on Indian languages, Indian context, and they have the same technical strength which, let's say, any other bigger model in the world would have.
Globally, though, India is still considered an AI middle power, along with countries such as France and the United Kingdom. USA and China are the benchmark, currently employing 70% of the world's top machine learning researchers. Between them, they command 90% of global computing power and attract the vast majority of AI investment. There are three principal challenges that India, like other middle power AI countries, face. AI capabilities are subject to the whims of policymakers in Washington and Beijing. Impact of AI's disruptive effects like job losses and AI-enhanced cybercrime, and the lack of policy tools necessary to shape AI's development. While India cannot control the whims of Washington and Beijing policymakers, it is tackling the remaining challenges on a war footing. To check AI deepfakes, India has now put in place a strict 3-hour deadline for social media platforms to take down AI-generated or deepfake content once it is flagged by the government or ordered by court.
गृह मंत्रालय ने साइबर क्राइम के खिलाफ बहुत समय पहले ही एक रणनीति अपनाई है, जिसमें साइबर अपराधों की रियल टाइम रिपोर्टिंग, फोरेंसिक प्रयोगशाला का नेटवर्क, कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग, रिसर्च और डेवलपमेंट, साइबर जागरूकता समाज के बीच में ले जाना और साइबर स्पेस की साइबर हाइजीन उसको सुनिश्चित करना। और अब इस सब के बीच में समन्वय कर हमने एक, जिसमें सीबीआई भी होगी, एनआईए भी होगी, आरबीआई भी होगा, सभी लोग मिलकर एक सुरक्षित तंत्र बनाने का प्रयास हमने करना पड़ेगा।
Artificial intelligence startups in India are already growing at an unprecedented rate, pushing innovation in healthcare, finance, education, agriculture, logistics, and climate technology. Many of the Indian startups are building India-first solutions that is geared to catering to Indian needs. Across industries, Indian enterprises are demonstrating how AI can deliver measurable returns. According to Ernst Young's AI Outlook for 2026, scaled deployments are already reshaping how businesses operate, engage customers, and drive growth. Banks have AI-powered assistants across its customer, employee, and branch networks. Giants in the FMCG sector are using AI to generate retailer ads and analyze shelf availability, capabilities that are directly helping improve sales execution and retail visibility, turning AI into a frontline growth driver. Core manufacturing companies are implementing predictive maintenance using generative AI combined with autonomous agents. Indian telecom companies are leveraging AI for real-time network optimization and customer experience management. Artificial intelligence is being actively used to block spam calls and SMSs. Across sectors, Indian companies are demonstrating that disciplined strategy and execution can translate AI implementation into real return on investments. Artificial intelligence in India is no longer a distant promise, but a present reality with the potential of reshaping economy and enterprise. As the future gets powered by a 24/7 workforce, infinitely scalable and always learning, Indian AI continues to build on the promise of prowess. A promise from now till the end of time, of augmented machine intelligence racing to overtake human intelligence in a not-too-distant future.
Across the country, he has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else. Only on NDTV network. The sharpest minds driving the global AI narrative. Policymakers, founders, technology leaders. Global perspectives, Indian priorities. The definitive conversation on AI. 18th February, New Delhi. NDTV In.AI Summit 2026. On the NDTV network.
Alright team, our new order show is ready. Now we need a promo. Something cool, something sharp.
Well, I'm sure we'll be having outstanding reviews, solid suggestions,
Expert advice, the latest trends. It's a lot simpler. We'll help people make the right auto decisions. It's got the cool stuff, geeky stuff, serious stuff, all of it, so that you can discover, decide and drive. I'm Siddharth Sharma and I am your Automate.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
Across innovation, economy and ethics, he is shaping technology that defines the next era of growth. Meet James Manika at the NDTV In.AI Summit, 18 February on the NDTV network.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground. Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling. They are now India's smallest but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad sahab, aise mat kijiye. Suddenly people are wondering about the weaponization of India-Pakistan cricket. We live and breathe elections. You will not believe your eyes or ears when I show you what I'm about to do. And for a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high altitude, we're standing on the Indian Navy's newest warship, the line of control, Shiv Arun, NDTV.
As a leading voice in open technology, she is shaping how AI remains transparent, trusted and accountable. Meet Amanda Brock at the NDTV In.AI Summit, 18th February on the NDTV network.
इनको यहाँ से जाना ही होगा।
जय मां दुर्गा!
There is
no bigger battle in 2026. And nobody has reported Bengal like I have. Buckle up for an unforgettable election thriller. Will the BJP breach Mamta's fortress?
TMC जावे, BJP आसपे.
Can Didi fight off her life's biggest challenge?
BJP double engine সরকার এই লড়াই বাঁচতে হবে.
Battleground Bengal with Manogya Loiwal.
He is transforming AI from code into voice and from technology into experience. Meet Marty Staniszewski at the NDTV.
नमस्कार, आदाब, गुड इवनिंग लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन. इंडिया और पाकिस्तान का क्रिकेट मैच सिर्फ एक मैच नहीं होता, ये एक इमोशन होता है. ये सिर्फ क्रिकेट नहीं, ये हिस्ट्री का नेक्स्ट चैप्टर लिखे जाने की तैयारी होती है. जहां एक तरफ है भारत जो कि डिफेंडिंग चैंपियंस है, वहीं दूसरी तरफ है पाकिस्तान की अनप्रिडिक्टेबल एक्सप्लोसिव टीम जो अपने दिन में किसी को भी हरा सकती है. भारत और पाकिस्तान का मुकाबला सिर्फ बैट और बॉल का नहीं बल्कि नर्व्स का मुकाबला होता है. बिकॉज व्हेन दीज टू टीम्स वॉक आउट, फॉर्म समटाइम्स टेक्स अ बैक सीट और कैरेक्टर फ्रंट फुट पर आ जाता है. तो चलिए फिर गेम ऑन है, माइक ऑन है, इमोशंस ऑन है. वेलकम टू द बिगेस्ट क्रिकेटिंग शोडाउन इन द वर्ल्ड. इस महामुकाबले की महाकवरेज आप देख रहे हैं एनडीटीवी पर. आपके साथ मैं हूं भैया और सबसे पहले आपका परिचय करा देती हूं. जो मेरे साथ स्टूडियो में मौजूद है हमारे तमाम खास मेहमान, इंडिया के पहले वर्ल्ड कप विनिंग कैप्टन कपिल देव. कपिल पाजी, स्वागत एक बार फिर से आपका. एंड ऑफ कोर्स फॉर्मर इंडिया क्रिकेटर निखिल चोपड़ा एंड अतुल वासन भी हमारे साथ यहां स्टूडियो में मौजूद है. लेकिन ये जो ब्रॉडकास्ट है ये बहुत खास है क्योंकि यहां पर हम आपको लिए चलेंगे सीधा पाकिस्तान के ARY चैनल के पास भी, जहां से उनके एंकर नजीब उल हसनैन हमारे साथ जुड़ रहे हैं. और नजीब, मुझे लगता है कि आपके पास भी क्रिकेटर्स का अच्छा खासा पैनल तैयार है इस मुकाबले की चर्चा करने के लिए.
जी प्रीति, थैंक यू सो मच. वी मीट अगेन. हम इसी तरह हमारी मुलाकात होती है जब भी ये बड़ा मुकाबला होता है और आपने खुद ही इतने खूबसूरत तरीके से एक्सप्लेन कर दिया. दिस इज़ मच मोर देन क्रिकेट. कोई दुनिया में स्पोर्टिंग राइवलरी ऐसी नहीं है जो पाकिस्तान और हिंदुस्तान के मैच का मुकाबला कर सके. तो हमारे पास भी बड़े धमाकेदार पैनलिस्ट हैं. फॉर्मर कैप्टन ऑफ पाकिस्तान, दुनिया भर में T20 लीग्स खेलने का मैसिव एक्सपोजर है. शोएब मलिक हमारे साथ है. शोएब भाई, अस्सलाम वालेकुम, वेलकम टू द शो.
कैसे?
उनके साथ तशरीफ रखते हैं वो जो हम मॉडर्न डे क्रिकेट की बात करते हैं ना कि गेम को साइड पे लगा देना, शुरू में ही पावर प्ले का ऐसा कमाल दिखाना. कामरान अकमल, विकेट कीपर बैटर हमारे साथ हैं. कामी, अस्सलाम वालेकुम, वेलकम टू द शो.
सलाम, थैंक यू.
और साथ में लास्ट बट नॉट लीस्ट, T20 क्रिकेट तो नहीं खेली है लेकिन अपने एनालिसिस की वजह से पाकिस्तान हिंदुस्तान दोनों जगह मशहूर है और अपने ज़माने में उसी स्टाइल की क्रिकेट खेलते थे. बासित अली हमारे साथ है. बासित भाई, अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
वालेकुम सलाम. और इंडिया के भी जितने भी हमारे ग्रेट्स कपिल पाजी बैठे हुए हैं और हमारे कुलिक निखिल और अतुल बैठे हुए हैं, उन्हें भी गुड इवनिंग.
बिल्कुल, मेरी तरफ से भी सबको सलाम और नमस्कार. तो प्रीति, हम आपकी तरफ बढ़ते, सवालात का सिलसिला आपसे शुरू करते हैं क्योंकि मुझे पता है आपकी तरफ से पहला सवाल आने क्या वाला है.
मुझे लगता है कि मुझे आपको बताना नहीं चाहिए था कि मेरी तरफ से पहला सवाल क्या आने वाला है क्योंकि मैं सवाल बदल दूंगी. अब मैं ये बताती हूँ आपको कि अब जो ये मुकाबला होने वाला है भारत और पाकिस्तान का, कितने जो आप सब वहाँ मौजूद हैं स्टूडियो में मानते हैं कि भारत they start as favorites in this match?
जी बिल्कुल, ये सवाल शुरू करते हैं पैनल से. बासित भाई से हम शुरू करते हैं क्योंकि देखिए प्रैक्टिकल अप्रोच तो रखनी चाहिए. वो डिफेंडिंग चैंपियन है, 2 साल में कोई सीरीज़ T20 के हारे नहीं है, लेकिन हमारी टीम में भी वो स्पार्क है, वो जैसे आपने शुरू में कहा अनप्रिडिक्टेबिलिटी. बासित भाई, आप बताइए.
प्रीति ने सवाल ही इतना ज़बरदस्त करा है कि दुनिया में जितने भी लोग हैं उन्हें यही पता है कि इंडिया फेवरेट है. 5 साल का बच्चा भी होगा तो वो भी यही बोलेगा कि इंडिया फेवरेट है क्योंकि इंडिया जो क्रिकेट खेल रहा है वो बहुत बड़ी टॉप क्लास खेल रहा है. लेकिन मैंने लाइफ में पहली दफ़ा पिछले 10 सालों में इंडिया टीम को, इंडिया के जर्नलिस्ट को प्रेशर में देखा है एक उस्मान तारिक से. अभी तो मैच शुरू भी नहीं हुआ, उस्मान तारिक की बातें हो रही है, बगैर खेले वो इतना मशहूर हो गया है. बहुत बड़ी बात है.
कामरान, व्हाट इज़ योर टेक ऑन दिस?
देखिए प्रेशर तो होता ही है, पाकिस्तान इंडिया का मैच और स्टार बनने का मौका होता है और नो डाउट इसमें इंडिया फेवरेट ही है। हम खुद तारीफ़ कर रहे हैं, जैसे बासत भाई ने कहा 2 साल से कोई सीरीज़ नहीं आ रहे और कमाल की क्रिकेट खेल रहे हैं मॉडर्न डे की और सारे के सारे मैच विनर है। लेकिन प्रीति ने इंट्रो में बताया था ऑन द डे हो तो फिर पाकिस्तान टीम किसी को भी हरा सकती, इतनी एबिलिटी पाकिस्तान टीम में है, ऐसे मैच विनर है। उस्मान तारिक का नो डाउट हम देख रहे हैं, एक हफ्ते से बड़ा प्रेशर डेवलप हुआ है, बैटर्स पे ठीक ठाक प्रेशर होगा, उसको देख के खेलना पड़ेगा।
बिल्कुल शोएब मलिक की तरफ बढ़ेंगे तो प्रीति हम अपने यहाँ कहते हैं बड़े नशेबो फराज देखे, यानी बड़े अप्स एंड डाउन्स जिंदगी में देखे हैं शोएब मलिक ने ऐसे मैचेस में। तो शोएब भाई इस टीम को कैसा देखते हैं?
देखिए अगर आप पाकिस्तान टीम की बात करें तो आपको ग्लिम्पसेस ज़रूर नज़र आ रहे हैं। हमारे बासित भाई ने भी, कामी ने भी ये बात की कि उस्मान तारिक वो ठीक है, उन पर बहुत बात हो रही है, उन ठीक है डिसेप्टिव है उनका एक्शन और बहुत मतलब ऐसे हैं कि उनको पिक करना मुश्किल हो जाता है। मैं खेला हूँ और मेरे साथ ओवरसीज़ प्लेयर्स भी खेल रहे थे और बड़े नाम खेल रहे थे, तो उनके लिए भी मुश्किलात पैदा ज़रूर करते हैं। लेकिन ये एक प्लेयर की गेम नहीं है, ये टीम गेम है और टीम गेम में मुझे जो लगता है कि पाकिस्तान के जो बैटर्स हैं अगर वो अच्छा खेलेंगे तो टफ टाइम ज़रूर दिया जा सकता है इंडियन टीम को। और दोनों साइड्स के अगर आप स्पिनर्स देखें तो बहुत क्वालिटी स्पिनर्स हैं। अगर जब कंपैरिजन होता है मेरे ख्याल में इंडिया को फेवरेट इसलिए बोला जाता है क्योंकि उनकी जो बैटिंग लाइनअप है वो ऐसी है कि कंडीशंस टफ भी हो जाएं, क्वालिटी बॉलर्स ऑपरेट भी कर रहे हों, दे नो हाउ टू प्ले। और वो है स्ट्राइक रोटेशन। उनके जितने बैटर्स हैं ठीक है वो बहुत स्ट्रोक मेकर्स हैं लेकिन उनको स्ट्राइक रोटेट करना आता है। अगर हम पाकिस्तान बैटर्स की बात करें तो वहाँ थोड़ा सा टफ है उनके लिए जब क्वालिटी स्पिनर्स उनके सामने आ जाएं और इंडिया के पास वो स्पिनर्स हैं जिसकी वजह से ना वो थोड़ा सा मसला आ रहा है। आप फील्डिंग की बात करें, पाकिस्तान फील्डिंग बहुत अच्छी कर रहा है, बॉलिंग की बात करें पाकिस्तान के पास बॉलिंग है, बैटिंग एक ऐसा डिपार्टमेंट है जहाँ पे जो है इस वजह से इंडिया को फेवरेट बोला जाता है।
ठीक है
नजीब, बहुत ऑनेस्ट रिप्लाई आया है आपके स्टूडियो से।
हमने देखा है कि
बहुत ऑनेस्ट रिप्लाई आया है। आप सब मानते हैं कि इंडिया स्टार्ट एज फेवरेट्स। जी, मैं एक बार कपिल पाजी से यहाँ पर एक सवाल ले लेती हूँ क्योंकि पाजी हमेशा जो है ना सीनियर होने के नाते एक वर्ड ऑफ कॉशन हमेशा हम सबको देते हैं। पाजी जब आप एक फेवरेट्स के टैग के साथ शुरुआत करते हैं किसी भी मुकाबले की, वो क्या एडेड प्रेशर देता है या कॉन्फिडेंस को बूस्ट करता है?
आई थिंक दोनों आप कैसे ले सकते हैं, दोनों चीज़ें आती है। लेकिन T20 के जब क्रिकेट होता है ना, आपने ऑलमोस्ट नेपाल ने इंग्लैंड को हरा दिया ऑलमोस्ट, और जिम्बाब्वे ने ऑस्ट्रेलिया को हरा दिया। तो इसलिए इस क्रिकेट में आप कह सकते हैं फेवरेट है, लेकिन उस दिन कौन सी टीम बेहतर खेलती है, किसके नर्व्स बेहतर है, वो टीम जीतने के ज़्यादा चांसेस है। यही अगर 5 दिन का मैच हो या 50 ओवर का मैच हो तो हम थोड़ा और कॉन्फिडेंस से बोल सकते हैं ये टीम बहुत बेहतर है। नंबर 8 टीम भी नंबर 1 टीम को किसी ना किसी दिन आके आराम से हरा सकती है।
नजीब, आप सवाल पूछना चाह रहे थे?
प्रीति, जो मेरा सवाल था ना यहाँ से, जी मेरा सवाल ये था आपके पैनल से कि हिस्टोरिकली हम देखते हैं कि पाकिस्तान फास्ट बॉलर्स एंड योर बैटर्स वो मुकाबला होता है। इस बार हम बिल्कुल डिफरेंट अप्रोच के साथ आ रहे हैं। इट इज़ आवर स्पिन वर्सेस योर स्पिन और उसमें उस्मान तारिक का एक अलग ही तड़का लगा हुआ है। इसको कैसा देखता है आपका पैनल?
बहुत अच्छा है। देखिए, होना चाहिए, थोड़ा सा अलग नॉवेल्टी आती है तो मैच में मज़ा आता है। और ये अच्छा है कि एटलीस्ट पाकिस्तान इस माइंडसेट से आया कि हमारे पास आज पहली बार अगर पिछले 40 साल की क्रिकेट करें वो अपने स्पिनर के ऊपर ज़्यादा
डिपेंडेंट
आ रहे हैं और फास्ट बॉलर के लिए ये थोड़ा सा अलग सा महसूस हुआ।
तो निखिल, क्या ये मुकाबला पाकिस्तान स्पिन वर्सेस इंडिया स्पिन है या फिर अभी भी मुकाबला वही है, इंडियन बैट्समैन वर्सेस पाकिस्तानी बॉलर्स?
देखिए, पाकिस्तानी बॉलर्स तो इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं, क्योंकि 120 गेंदों के इस फॉर्मेट में रन तो बनाने पड़ेंगे। और अच्छी बात ये है कि इतने सालों के बाद, जैसे पाजी भी कह रहे हैं ना, कि कम से कम ये नज़र आ रहा है कि आप सिर्फ एक तरीके से नहीं चल रहा कि हम फास्ट बॉलर से ना सारी विकेटें ले लेंगे। आपने कंडीशंस को मद्देनज़र रख के आपने अपनी टीम का चयन किया है, उसके बाद आप अपनी बेस्ट 11 खिलाने को देख रहे हैं, जो कंडीशंस हैं वो डिक्टेट कर रही है। तो मेरे को लगता है एक थॉट प्रोसेस के साथ वो टीम उतर रही है। और जी हाँ, सब उस्मान तारिक की बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ जो बाकी के गेंदबाज हैं वो साथ में उनको भी अच्छी बॉलिंग करनी पड़ेगी, वो प्रेशर बनाने के लिए। फ़र्क क्या है, जब भारतीय स्पिनर्स की आप तुलना करते हैं अक्सर के साथ वरुण डालते हैं, वरुण के साथ कुलदीप डालेंगे, तो वो प्रेशर वो जो है वो बनता चला जाता है। फिर ऑफ कोर्स वो प्रेशर और माउंट करने के लिए आपके पास जसप्रीत बुमराह भी रहता है। सो आपके प्रमुख गेंदबाज के साथ और कौन सा बॉलर साथ में डाल रहा हो वो प्रेशर और बना के रखता है।
अतुल,
देखिए मुझे लगता है जैसे बिल्कुल सही कहा बासित ने कि उस्मान तारिक की बात हो रही है और कप्तान ने भी बोल दिया मेरा ट्रम्प कार्ड है। तो मुझे लगता है कि ये जो नैरेटिव है, ये तरीका जो है ना, पाकिस्तान को आड़े हाथों आया है, क्योंकि जब जब उन्होंने किसी प्लेयर को बिल्डअप किया है वो बेचारे प्लेयर की जो ग्रोथ के लिए डेट्रीमेंटल रहा है और प्रेशर अलग आता है। शाहीन शाह अफरीदी को उन्होंने नेक्स्ट वसीम अकरम बनाया था, वो उसके ऊपर वो ऐसा फोकस आया, और फिर बाबर आजम को जो उन्होंने ग्रेट प्लेयर बनाया। तो ये एक मैं दिक्कत पाकिस्तान की क्या रही है कि एक ग्रेट प्लेयर उनका डेवलप नहीं हुआ जो कि साथ में टीम लेके चले, और जो जैसे ही बड़े प्लेयर को बिल्डअप करते हैं, और करना ज़रूरी भी है क्योंकि जब इंडिया के साथ मैच खेलते हैं आपको अगर अपने प्लेयर्स को नहीं बढ़ाएंगे, पर वो सोचना चाहिए कि वो प्लेयर इंडिया के खिलाफ ऐसा फोकस पे आ रहा है और उसके ख़राब मैच के बाद उसका एकदम से उसकी जो डिफ्लेक्ट हो जाता है कॉन्फिडेंस भी। तो आई थिंक थोड़ा सा सोचना चाहिए कि अभी इतनी प्रूवन एंटिटी नहीं है, और अगर 1-2 मैचेस जिताएगा तब धीरे धीरे ग्रोथ देखिए। अभी वो 30+ है, तो आई थिंक उसका मैक्सिमम यूज़ करें और उस पर प्रेशर ना डालें। यूनिक बॉलर है और उसको यूनिक ही रहने दें, उसको एकदम फोकस में लेके आएंगे तो वो कहते हैं ना कि नाम बड़े दर्शन छोटे हो जाते हैं कई बार।
नहीं, मेरे ख्याल से अतुल आपने बहुत एक वैलिड पॉइंट रेज किया यहाँ पे। शोएब, मैं आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ, बतौर कैप्टन जब आपके पास ऐसा एक तुर्क का इक्का आता है, ट्रम्प कार्ड कह रहे हैं सलमान अली आगा आपके बॉलर को, और इतना बिल्डअप किया जा रहा है, आप सब भी उनकी जमकर तारीफ कर रहे हैं, तो क्या एक भारत पाकिस्तान के मुकाबले से पहले उन पर एडेड प्रेशर नहीं होगा इस बात का कि अब सबकी निगाहें उन पर टिकी हुई हैं और सामने है भारत के बल्लेबाज जो बहुत स्ट्रांग माने जाते हैं अपनी बैटिंग में?
देखिए प्रेशर तो ज़रूर होगा उन पे, और इट्स हिज फर्स्ट टाइम कि ही इज़ गोइंग टू फेस इंडियन टीम, तो वो भी प्रेशर है। फिर आप देखें कि उस्मान तारिक के बारे में हर जगह से आवाज़ आ रही है, हर बंदा जो है उनकी बात कर रहा है, तो वो प्रेशर ज़रूर होगा। बट आई हैव डेल्ट विद हिम, तो वो ही इज़ अ वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट गाय, और मुझे लगता है कि वो प्रेशर को अच्छे से डील कर लेंगे। अब अगर आप सलमान अली आगा की बात करें, ठीक है वो एक मेन बॉलर है, उनको जहाँ उनकी यूटिलाइजेशन जो 4 ओवर्स की है वो मुझे लगता है ऐसे करनी चाहिए कि जहां 2 सेट होने लगे बैटर्स, तो उनका वहां पे ओवर ज़रूर जो है वो करवाना चाहिए, क्योंकि विकेट नहीं लेंगे, टारगेट आपके कंट्रोल से बाहर जाएगा, वो मुश्किल हो जाएगा। तो जब आपके पास ऐसा बॉलर हो, कोशिश ये करनी चाहिए कि जो बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट है वो बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट के अगेंस्ट ही ऑपरेट करे। तो ये उनको रीड करनी पड़ेगी सिचुएशन क्या आती है मैच में। फ़ायदा उनका तभी होगा उस्मान तारिक का कि जब दूसरी साइड से कोई बैटर सेट हो रहा है
तब उनको ब्रेक थ्रू के लिए लाया जाए। जो
नहीं, पर शोएब से पूछना
चाहूंगा प्रीति, क्योंकि उन्होंने जो बोला ना कि उसकी हाइप इतनी क्रिएट कर रहे हैं कि उस पर प्रेशर आएगा, हम नहीं कर रहे, वहां से ज्यादा आ रहा है। एक्शन के ऊपर बात हो रही है, उसकी यूनिक स्टाइल पे बात हो रही है, उसके रुकने पे बात हो रही है। हमारे लिए तो वो लाइक एनी अदर स्पिनर था, उसकी हाइप तो अक्रॉस द बॉर्डर ज्यादा क्रिएट हुई।
तो ये अच्छी बात है आप लोगों के लिए या बुरी बात है?
नहीं, शोएब से पूछना चाह रहा हूँ कि आपका बेस्ट है कौन?
अच्छी बात है,
अगर बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट होगा, आपके हिसाब से आपका बेस्ट कौन है, आप बताइए।
भाई हमारे पास तो देखिए सारे ही अच्छे हैं। मेरा प्रॉब्लम ये है, इरेस्मस फंसा रहा था नमीबिया का कप्तान, तो फिर उस्मान तारिक से तो मसला होगा ही होगा। बासित भाई कुछ ऐड करना चाह रहे थे?
पहले शोएब से सवाल करें, शोएब जवाब।
देखिए अतुल भाई, हमारे पास जो मुझे लगता है जो इन फॉर्म है वो हैं, एक तो इब्रार अहमद हैं, उस्मान तारिक हैं, नवाज अच्छी बॉलिंग कर रहा है। फिर आप अगर साइम अयूब की बात करें, ठीक है वो एज अ बैटर खेलता है, लेकिन ये ऐसे स्पिनर्स हैं, शादाब जो है, ये ऐसे स्पिनर्स हैं कि ये मुश्किल टाइम दे सकते हैं। सिर्फ ये है कि जो अर्ली स्ट्राइक है, जो नए बॉल से है, वहाँ से आनी बहुत ज़रूरी है, ताकि मोमेंटम नहीं जाना चाहिए बैटर्स का इनकी तरफ। जब ये नए बैटर्स को बॉल करेंगे, पाकिस्तान इंडिया का मैच आपको भी पता है बहुत प्रेशर वाला मैच होता है, तो जब अगर कोई सेट बैटर्स जाएगा इन स्पिनर्स के अगेंस्ट, तो वो मुश्किलात ज़रूर होंगी। जहाँ पाकिस्तान बॉलिंग अटैक थोड़ा स्ट्रगल कर रहा है वो है अर्ली स्ट्राइक, वो आना बहुत ज़रूरी है।
जी बासित भाई कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं?
अतुल ने सवाल बहुत अच्छा करा। अतुल, अगर हमारे पास उस्मान तारिक ना भी हो ना, कोई भी शाहीन शाह अफरीदी भी ना हो, लेकिन पाकिस्तान इंडिया का मैच आप भी खेलें, पाजी भी खेलें, निखिल भी खेलें, हम तीनों यहाँ बैठे हुए हमने भी खेला है, इस पर प्रेशर तो होता है, चाहे जैसी भी पिच हो। और T20 इतना शॉर्ट फॉर्मेट है, हम 11 में से कोई भी बैटर खड़ा हो जाए वो 2 ओवर में मैच जितवा देता है। इसमें अपसेट होने के चांसेस ज़्यादा हैं। जैसे कपिल पाजी ने कहा, टेस्ट मैच हो या ODI हो तो समझ में आता है, और T20 में अगर आपने एक गलती करी, चाहे एक कैच छोड़ा, एक रन आउट छोड़ा या एक बैड शॉट मार के आप आउट होते हैं, तो टीम फिर क्रॉस कर जाती है। तो बहुत ही मतलब दुनिया में मशहूर इसलिए है कि T20 के टाइम कम है, लेकिन इसमें अपसेट होने के चांसेस ज़्यादा हैं। आपकी टीम बहुत बड़ी है, आपके पास मैच चेंजर बहुत हैं, लेकिन पाकिस्तान में साहबजादा जिस तरह अभी 2 मैच खेला है, नेवर नो कि वो अच्छा परफॉर्म कर दे, नीचे से शदाब अच्छा परफॉर्म कर दे। एक बैटर मैच जितवा सकता है बैटिंग करते हुए, और एक बॉलर एक ओवर में 2 आउट करके मैच जितवा सकता है। ये है T20 अच्छी बात।
शुरू में जैसे कपिल सर ने बात की है ना,
कपिल सर कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं।
अच्छी बात क्या है पाकिस्तान के टीम के लिए, ये वैसी पिचेस पे खेल रहे हैं जहां पर स्पिनर को थोड़ी बहुत हेल्प मिल रही है, तो इसलिए आप कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाते। और अगर यही पिच अच्छी होती तो मैं शायद इनके गेंदबाज को इतना समय नहीं देता। आज मैं 100% ज़्यादा देना चाहता हूं कि पिच ऐसी है, आप बड़ी शॉट नहीं खेल सकते, और जो नया गेंदबाज है वो आपको प्रेशर डाल सकता है। ये प्लस पॉइंट है पाकिस्तान के लिए।
यहाँ पे क्विकली इफ वी कैन ऐड, इज इट एन एडवांटेज टू पाकिस्तान कि ये कोलंबो में बहुत पहले से हैं, सारे मैचेस जो हैं पाकिस्तान के वो वहीं खेले जा रहे हैं, हालांकि ये स्टेडियम अलग होगा, लेकिन फिर भी क्या अपने आप को एक्लिमेटाइज करना, वो समय मिलना उस कंडीशंस में फायदे में रहेगा?
पिच के ऊपर है। यही अगर बॉम्बे की पिच या बेंगलोर की जहां पर बॉल थोड़ी बहुत आती है तो बल्लेबाज को थोड़ा फायदा होता है। जहां पर बॉल रुक के आएगी, गेंद थमेगी थोड़ी सी, तो शायद जो मिस्ट्री गेंदबाज है या बाकी है उनको इतना एडवांटेज मिल जाता है। और T20 में थोड़ा बहुत एडवांटेज बहुत बड़ा एडवांटेज होता है।
नजीब,
कामरान इसमें कुछ ऐड करना चाह रहे हैं? प्रीति, फिर बासित भाई की तरफ बढ़ेंगे।
बिल्कुल, कपिल सर ने बड़ा ज़बरदस्त डिस्क्राइब किया। जैसे कहा कि स्लो पिच है, वहाँ पे खेलते हुए आ रहे हैं, और निखिल भाई जी ने जैसे कहा और अतुल भाई जी ने कहा कि उस्मान तारिक पे ज़्यादा प्रेशर है, अगर उसको मार पड़ गई तो वो कैसे वो इस प्रेशर को हैंडल कर सकेगा। अच्छी चीज़ ये है कि पाकिस्तान के पास और भी स्पिनर है, मैच विनर। इब्रार की सपोर्ट उनको मिलेगी, नवाज की मिलेगी, शदाब की मिलेगी, फिर साइम अयूब भी बॉलिंग कर रहा है, 6 स्पिनर है हमारे पास। तो मुझे लग रहा है कि ठीक ठाक जो कंडीशन के मुताबिक हमारी स्पिन बॉलिंग अटैक है ना, वो बहुत ज़बरदस्त है। उनकी बैटिंग लाइनअप बहुत ज़बरदस्त है। यहाँ पे जो हमारी टीम के लिए चैलेंजिंग है वो है वरुण चक्रवर्ती, कुलदीप यादव अगर खेलता है तो वो हमारे बैटर्स के लिए बड़ा मुश्किल है, और वहाँ पे वो बैटर्स पे ज़्यादा हमें फोकस करना चाहिए। वो रन्स करेंगे ना तो हमारे पास बॉलर्स ऐसे हैं वो कंटेन कर सकते हैं।
एक सेकंड, आपको शक है कि कुलदीप यादव नहीं खेलेगा? कोई शक है?
अभी तक तो खेला नहीं है, लेकिन पूछ लेते हैं।
कपिल पाजी से एक सवाल करना चाहता हूं।
बासित भाई कपिल पाजी से सवाल करना चाह रहे हैं,
बोलिए।
कपिल पाजी, अभी आपने अपना मैच देखा है ऑस्ट्रेलिया और जिम्बाब्वे का, उसमें 7 विकेट लिए फास्ट बॉलर है, और प्रेमदासा की बाउंड्री 80 यार्ड की बाउंड्री है, और यहाँ पे हमेशा फास्ट बॉलर आउट करते हैं। आप भी और हम लोग भी स्पिनर्स पे बहुत ज़्यादा बात कर रहे हैं। क्या फास्ट बॉलर वेपन नहीं हो सकता इतनी बड़ी बाउंड्री में, जहाँ पे 80 यार्ड की बाउंड्री हो, और बॉल मूव भी करता है, और छोटा मैच भी हो सकता है बारिश की वजह से?
बिल्कुल हो सकता है, पर हम इस समय चर्चा कर रहे हैं कितने मैचेस हो चुके हैं इस पिच पर, उसमें कितना हार्डनेस है। अगर बहुत ज़्यादा मैचेस हो जाए तो आप प्रिपेयर वैसी कर ही नहीं सकते। और जो जितना सुनने को आया, यहाँ पर काफ़ी क्रिकेट ज़्यादा खेली जाती है। हाँ, वहाँ समुद्र होने के कारण बॉल में थोड़ी बहुत तो मूवमेंट रहती है, और शाम को मैच हो रहा है। ये टीम के कैप्टन को कॉन्फिडेंस आना चाहिए कि हाँ, मेरे तेज़ गेंदबाज बेहतर कर सकते हैं। लेकिन अगर आप 6 स्पिनर के साथ खेल रहे हैं, ये पहली बार पाकिस्तान का होगा कि इतना
5 की चर्चा चल रही है।
5 या उन्होंने 6 कमल ने बोला। मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि
और फास्ट बॉलर भी आजकल सिर्फ 2 ही बॉलें फास्ट करते हैं एक ओवर में। हाँ। ये समझदारी की बात है। और अगर फास्ट बॉलर आप जैसा यूज करते हैं तो फिर मुझे लगता है कि कोई भी आ जाए। ये है देख, पर एक सवाल मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ।
अच्छा, हमारे पास दूसरा
तीनों जबरदस्त प्लेयर हैं। ये तो एक क्लीशे है कि देखिए जो टीम एग्रेसिव खेलती है और अटैक करती है वो उसका बेटर चांस है। इंडिया क्योंकि जीतती आ रही है वो अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं, उनको पता है कि कोई ना कोई संभाल लेगा। पाकिस्तान, क्या आपको दिल पे हाथ रख के बताइए कि आपको लगता है कि ये टीम जो खेल रही है ये एग्रेसिव अटैकिंग क्रिकेट सही मायने में खेलेगी कि सिर्फ बातें करेगी? आपको लगता है कि इन ये 2-3 प्लेयर जो है 2-4 साल 5 साल से खेल रहे हैं, उसके अलावा जो नई जो टीम है आपकी, क्या उनका माइंडसेट ऐसा होगा कि इंडिया के अगेंस्ट एकदम एग्रेसिव अटैक करें? एक ही चांस है उनका जीतने का अगर ऐसे खेले तो।
यस हाँ ठीक है, शोएब अटैकिंग क्रिकेट पे सवाल कर रहे हैं।
बासित भाई इस पे पहले बोलना चाहते हैं तो।
अतुल, आपने सवाल अच्छा करा है मेरे भाई, लेकिन बात वही है, कंडीशन तो देखें। क्या ये पिच प्रेमदासा की अटैकिंग खेलने के लिए फायदेमंद है? नहीं। इसका जवाब होगा हमारी तरफ से, मेरी तरफ से
आप शॉट
नहीं।
मारे, अटैकिंग माइंडसेट मतलब कि
हाँ मैं वही बता रहा हूँ आपको। यहाँ पे मतलब इम्प्रोवाइज़र जो होगा ना, वो ज़्यादा अच्छा प्ले करेगा। जैसे हमारे पास सलमान अली आगा है, बाबर आजम है। बाबर आजम अब नंबर 4 पे आ गया। जो इस मैच को लंबा लेके जाएगा ना, मेरा ख्याल है वो बैटर ज़्यादा कामयाब होगा बनिस्बत आंख बंद करके मारने वाला।
शोएब भाई, इस पे आपका क्या पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है कि जो मेंटल टफनेस है, जो बड़े चैलेंज से डील करना है, उसके लिए वो सवाल पूछ रहे हैं?
देखें, जब भी पाकिस्तान इंडिया का मैच होता है, वहाँ पे वो वाले बैटर्स जो हैं ज़्यादा सक्सेसफुल होते हैं, या बॉलर्स जो हैं सक्सेसफुल होते हैं, जिनको 3 टाइप का गेम खेलना आता है कि कब आपको अटैकिंग खेलना है, कब आपको डिफेंसिव खेलना है, कब आपको जो है चीज़ों को संभालना है। तो अगर देखा जाए तो हमारा बैटिंग ज़रूर स्ट्रगलिंग है, स्पेशली जब मिडिल ओवर्स की बात आए तो वहाँ पे वो स्ट्रगलिंग है। वो इस वजह से है कि प्रेमदासा में बहुत क्रिकेट खेले हैं, आप लोग भी खेले हैं, हम लोग भी खेले हैं। जो मेरी असेसमेंट है उस स्टेडियम की, वो ये है कि आपको कन्वेंशनल एज अ बैटर थोड़ा खेलना पड़ता है चीज़ों को समझने के लिए। और दूसरी तरफ जब आपके अगेंस्ट टॉप बॉलिंग अटैक हो तो आपको और ज़्यादा असेस करना पड़ता है, फिर प्रेशर आप पे हो एज अ बैटर। तो ये एक ऐसी चीज़ है कि बासित भाई की बात बिल्कुल सही है कि वहाँ पे कन्वेंशनल खेलने वाले जो बैटर्स हैं, जो समझ के खेलेंगे, वो ज़्यादा अच्छा खेलेंगे। ये वहाँ वो वाला काम नहीं होगा 200-250 रन बनेंगे, ये वहाँ पे नहीं होना है। प्रेमदासा में बड़ी बाउंड्रीज हैं, स्पिन भी होता है और स्विंग भी होता है। ये वाहिद ऐसी चीज़ है जो श्रीलंका में ही आपको मिलती है, स्पिन भी और स्विंग भी आपको मिलता है सीम के साथ। तो ये इतना आसान नहीं होगा। यहाँ पे आपको अगर रन्स लंबे बनाने हैं, जो भी जिसको थोड़ी समझ आ जाए, जिस बैटर को भी, उसकी कोशिश ये होनी चाहिए कि अगर बीच में कोई क्वाइट ओवर 1-2 खेलने पड़ गए, वो खेल जाओ आप, फिर आपके ज्यादा चांसेस है कि आप अच्छा टारगेट लगा भी सकते हो और उसे अचीव भी कर सकते हो।
प्रीति, हमने बहुत ज्यादा डिस्कशन ना स्पिन बॉलिंग पे ज्यादा किया है, हम आते हैं थोड़ा बैटिंग पे, और इंडिया की बैटिंग बड़ी एक्सप्लोसिव है।
बिल्कुल नहीं, वहां पे जो आप लोगों ने अटैकिंग क्रिकेट वाला मुद्दा डिस्कस किया ना, मुझे एक बार कपिल पाजी से भी वहां पर उनके इनपुट्स लेने हैं, बिकॉज इंडिया को इतना हाइप अप किया जाता है कि हम अटैकिंग क्रिकेट खेल रहे हैं। पहली गेंद पर ही अभिषेक छक्का मारने की क्षमता रखते हैं और उन्होंने दिखाया है। लेकिन जिस वर्ड ऑफ कॉशन के साथ जो हमारे पाकिस्तानी पैनलिस्ट हैं पाजी, वो अप्रोच कर रहे हैं, वही हमें आई थिंक इंडियन टीम को भी पास ऑन करना पड़ेगा कि हर मैदान एक जैसा नहीं होता। आपको कई बार सिचुएशन को देख के अपना डिसाइड करना है कि आप अटैकिंग खेलेंगे या थोड़ा रोक के चलेंगे।
देखिए 90% आपको आइडिया हो जाता है पहले 4 ओवर खेलते हुए कि इस पिच में कितना दम है, अगर बॉल बल्ले पे आ रही है कि नहीं आ रही। हाँ, तेज़ नई गेंद थोड़ा बल्ले पे बेहतर आ सकती है, लेकिन पहले जो 1-2 बैट्समैन हैं वो बता देंगे कि इस पे 150-160 विनिंग रन है, और कभी कभी 220 रन भी ऐसा लगता है कि आराम से बन जाएंगे। तो हम जो पहले भी चर्चा कर रहे थे ऑफ स्क्रीन, अगर 170 बन जाता है तो आपके मैच जीतने के चांसेस यहाँ पर इस स्टेडियम में बेहतर है, क्योंकि स्पिनर के अगेंस्ट लगातार बड़े शॉट खेलना आसान नहीं।
और शायद आप ये पूछ भी रहे थे शोएब से कि एक आपके लिहाज से शोएब डिसेंट टोटल क्या होगा?
मेरा एक सवाल है।
जी
देखिए, मैं सिर्फ इस वेन्यू को देखते हुए और 2 टीम्स को देखते हुए, एनीथिंग इन बिटवीन 170 to 180, 165 to 180, ये बहुत अच्छा टारगेट हो सकता है। हम लोगों ने, मेरा आपसे सवाल है, कपिल पाजी, निखिल पाजी और अतुल पाजी, आपसे ये सवाल है कि हम लोगों ने बहुत ज़्यादा डिस्कस कर रहे हैं कि क्वालिटी स्पिनर्स हैं दोनों तरफ, ठीक है। तो जब क्वालिटी स्पिनर्स होंगे तो आप अपने बैटर्स को, आप ड्रेसिंग रूम में बैठे होंगे तो आप क्या बोलेंगे कि जाके इनको मारना शुरू कर दो या ज़रा थोड़ा असेस करके खेलो? क्योंकि वो जब आप किसी को मैसेज क्लैरिटी वाला देते हैं, तब वो आपका टोटल जो है आपके दिमाग में आता है एज अ बैटर कि आपने कितना करना है। तो आप क्या एडवाइस करेंगे कि जब हमारा बॉलिंग अटैक जो है पाकिस्तान का वो अच्छा है,
ये कहेंगे कि कम से कम डॉट बॉल खेले जाए। दोनों टीमों में जो टीम भी कम से कम डॉट बॉल खेलेगी उनके जीतने के आसार बढ़ जाते हैं। बड़े शॉट तो मान सकते हैं, लेकिन वो जब 4 स्पिनर होते हैं वो सिंगल निकालना, वो 1 के 2 बनाना, वो बहुत ज़रूरी है।
निखिल, क्या अप्रोच रहेगी कैप्टन की तरफ से, टीम मैनेजमेंट की तरफ से, कैसे पाकिस्तान के जो ये स्पिनर्स हैं जिन्होंने खलबली मचा रखी है उन्हें हैंडल किया जाए?
देखिए, अच्छी बात ये है कि भारतीय टीम भी वहाँ अभ्यास कर रही है और जितना बड़ा वो मैदान है वो गेम की पेस और टोन सेट करेगा। वो पहले वो 6 ओवर 36 गेंदें पावर प्ले में आप किस तरीके से खेलते हैं, क्योंकि अगर शाहीन शुरुआत में डालेगा, साइम डालता है, अगर अभिषेक खेल रहे हैं और साथ में ईशान किशन, वो दोनों गेम की पेस सेट करेंगे। और जो पाजी भी कह रहे हैं, पता चल जाता है ना पहले 3-4 ओवर में कि इस विकेट पे कितने रन बनने चाहिए या नहीं बनने चाहिए। अगर पावर प्ले में आपने एक ही विकेट गंवाई है, फिर आपकी बैटिंग इतनी लंबी है, तो फिर आप प्रेशर डाल सकते हैं स्पिनर के ऊपर। लेकिन हाँ, ये फर्क है कि सीमेंट वाली विकेट नहीं है, कि सी बॉल हिट बॉल वाला गेम नहीं होगा। एज अ बैटर आपको पता होना चाहिए यार मेरे रिस्क फ्री बाउंड्री एरियाज क्या है।
हाँ नजीब, मुझे लगता है कि हमने ना गेंदबाजों को बड़ा,
अच्छा प्रीति, यहाँ कामरान हमारे साथ ओपनिंग बैटर बैठे हैं, तो उनसे भी थोड़ा इस बारे में बात करते हैं कि क्या स्ट्रैटेजी होनी चाहिए। कामरान,
जैसे वो कह रहे हैं, इनपुट्स लेके फिर हम जरा बैट्समैन की बात करते हैं इस डिबेट में।
ओके कामरान, ये 6 ओवर वाली जो बात है तो उसका हमें एक तो तोड़ भी निकालना है, जैसे निखिल ने कहा है कि उनके पास जिस तरह के प्लेयर्स हैं। और क्या आप समझते हैं कि 6 ओवर मैटर करेगा इस जगह पे, इस वेन्यू पे इतना तेज खेलने वाला? जैसे
बिल्कुल मैटर करेगा नजीब। देखो, ये जो वेन्यू है ना, यहाँ पे नया बॉल बल्ले पे आ रहा होगा ना, तो बैटर्स बड़े खुश होंगे, ओपनर्स बड़े खुश होंगे। उस पर जितने रन्स आप बना लेंगे पावर प्ले में उतना अच्छा होगा। जैसे ही पुराना बॉल होगा, स्पिनर्स आएंगे तो वो शॉट्स नहीं लगेंगे, तो वहाँ पे उसके मुताबिक खेलना पड़ेगा। अच्छी चीज़, दोनों टीमों के पास दोनों अटैकिंग ओपनर्स हैं। अभिषेक शर्मा, ईशान किशन ज़बरदस्त फॉर्म में है, मैच विनर है। हमारे पास साहिबजादा फरहान है, साइम अयूब। अब इन पे डिपेंड करता है ये अपनी अपनी टीम को कितना अच्छा स्टार्ट देते हैं, क्योंकि नीचे आने वाले जो 3, 4, 5 बैटर है ना, वो उस फ्लो के साथ नहीं खेल सकते जो ये दोनों खेल सकते हैं। फिर ऑलराउंडर्स आ जाते हैं, उधर से हार्दिक पांड्या आ जाता है, अक्षर पटेल आ जाता है, हमारे पास नवाज, शदाब, फ़हीम अशरफ आ जाते हैं। तो उनका रोल ज़्यादा डेप्थ ओवर्स जब होंगे ना, शुरू जो बैटिंग करे होंगे, उन पे बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट रोल होगा, वो अच्छा फिनिश करे। तो ये एक कैलकुलेशन करके मैच को चलाना पड़ेगा, फिर जाके एक अच्छा, जैसे कपिल पाजी ने कहा ना, मैं भी उनके साथ एग्री करता हूँ, 170 मैं समझता हूँ बड़ा जबरदस्त टोटल होगा।
बहुत बार के 170 एक अच्छा स्कोर होगा। जी प्रीति, अभी आप बैटिंग के हवाले से बात करना
फरहान का नाम लिया है यहाँ पर, और मुझे ये पता चला है कि साहिबजादा फरहान ने जब जसप्रीत बुमराह की गेंद पर छक्का मारा था तो पाकिस्तान में डॉक्यूमेंट्री बन गई थी। क्या जसप्रीत बुमराह की गेंद पर छक्का मारना इतनी बड़ी अचीवमेंट है पाकिस्तानी बल्लेबाजों के लिए?
मैं जवाब देना चाहूंगा।
बासित भाई बोले।
बिल्कुल आपने सही बोला, बिल्कुल सही प्रीति, आपने सही कहा, उसने छक्का मारा था। ये बात तो सच है ना। उस्मान तारिक ने तो अभी बॉलिंग भी नहीं करी है, उसके मशहूरी इतनी ज्यादा इंडिया ने कर दी है कि वो दुनिया में मशहूर हो गया।
ना डॉक्यूमेंट बनी, ना हेडलाइन बनी।
लेकिन बात तो
अच्छी
बात ये है ना कि आपने मशहूर कराई है, तो क्रेडिट लेना आप।
आपके कैप्टन ने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में बोला कि वो मेरा ट्रम्प कार्ड है, तो हम क्यों हम
आपके ट्रम्प कार्ड पे चर्चा कर रहे हैं।
ये तो हमारी चाल है, हम उसको करा रहे हैं, उसकी बातें कर रहे हैं।
अतुल मैच से पहले से हो रहा है। अतुल, ये तो मैच से पहले माइंड सेट, ये तो माइंड गेम खेला जाता है ना, कप्तान ने भी ये माइंड गेम खेला।
एक और मजे की बात पता है क्या है? एक और मजे की बात यह है कि उस्मान तारिक कह रहा था कि इतना तो मेरे घर वालों ने कभी मुझे डिस्कस नहीं किया जितना वहां पे मेरी डिस्कशन हो रही है।
लेकिन
कप्तान ने तो ये कह दिया था कि उसको एक बैंड पहन के घूमना चाहिए कि मेरा एक्शन ठीक है।
खिलाड़ियों से ये मौका छीना जा रहा था कि इतना बड़ा मुकाबला है जब वो नेशनल लेजेंड बन सकते हैं, नेशनल हीरोज बन सकते हैं, और उस मुकाबले में आप लोग हिस्सा लेने को तैयार नहीं थे। लेकिन एज फॉर्मर कैप्टन शोएब, कभी हाँ कभी ना का ये जो सिलसिला था, ये भी क्या टीम पर दबाव नहीं डालता है क्योंकि आप मेंटली रेडी नहीं हो पा रहे हैं कि खेलना है या नहीं खेलना है?
देखिए, क्रिकेट की जीत करवानी थी और उसके लिए पाकिस्तान का स्टांस बिल्कुल सही था और उसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है। लेकिन अब हमें खुश होना चाहिए कि पाकिस्तान इंडिया का मैच हो रहा है, हम सब देखना चाहते हैं, तो हमें ज़्यादा फोकस उस पर जो है वो करना चाहिए। लेकिन क्रिकेट की जीत हुई, इससे बड़ी कोई चीज, खुशी की कोई चीज नहीं है।
मैच होने जा रहा है, मैच होने जा रहा है, ये सबसे बड़ी बात
स्टैंड
है।
था वो पाकिस्तान ने बांग्लादेश के लिए लिया, वो चीजें सॉर्ट आउट हो गई, बट द पॉइंट इज कि मैच हो रहा है और
कुछ नहीं सॉर्ट आउट हुआ, कुछ नहीं हुआ,
बहुत अच्छी बात है,
वही की वही है,
देखना चाहती है।
चलिए अच्छी बात है कि मैच हो रहा है। अब मुझे बताइए कि अगली सरदर्दी क्या है आपकी? जसप्रीत बुमराह है, अभिषेक शर्मा है, या वरुण चक्रवर्ती है, या सूर्य कुमार यादव है, और पिछली बार आउट ऑफ सिलेबस तिलक वर्मा आ गए थे, तो कौन है सरदर्दी इस वक्त पाकिस्तान?
नहीं, बासित कुछ कह रहे हैं।
बासित भाई पहले कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं।
जो बात बोली है बड़ी जबरदस्त बात करी है। ये जो मोहब्बत है ना, ये खत्म नहीं होनी चाहिए। अब जैसे कपिल पाजी बैठे हुए, मेरे फादर और कपिल पाजी के फादर हरियाणा से ताल्लुक़ रखते हैं, तो वो मोहब्बतें अभी भी हैं। ये मोहब्बतें कभी भी ख़त्म नहीं होंगी। मैच ख़त्म हो जाएगा, कोई जीतेगा कोई हारेगा। आप लोग ज़्यादा जीत रहे हैं, आप लोग क्रिकेट अच्छी खेल रहे हैं, हम हमेशा तारीफ करते हैं, लेकिन मोहब्बतें ख़त्म नहीं होनी चाहिए। हमें खेल में सियासत नहीं लानी चाहिए।
और तुलपाई जी मुझे ये बात बताएं कि ये ठीक करनी भी है कि नहीं, ये भी सोचना है। ये
क्या करना, कामरान कह रहे हैं वो ठीक करनी भी है कि नहीं करनी है?
देखो ऐसा है, देखो आपने कहा कि भैया जी क्रिकेट की जीत हो रही है, पर उसको हार के कगार पे पहले लेके आए, उसके बाद जीत और अच्छी लगती है, क्योंकि होना नहीं वाला था तो बोनस हो गया मुझे लग रहा है।
अच्छा ठीक है, अब वापस इस पूरे मुद्दे को हम वापस क्रिकेट फील्ड पर ले आते हैं। उन 11 खिलाड़ी जो
आपने ये चिंगारी जो छोड़ी है ना,
नहीं मैंने चर्चा ये की थी क्योंकि मैं फॉर्मर कैप्टन।
कामरान जवाब देना चाह रहे हैं,
पर मैच
हमारा आपस में नहीं है, मैच हमारा आपस में नहीं है, मैच पाकिस्तान इंडिया का ग्राउंड में प्रेमादासा स्टेडियम में है।
देखिए हमने तो इस टॉपिक को छेड़ा ही नहीं था, आप इस प्रोग्राम में भी सियासत ले आए। अब आगे बढ़ते हैं, मैच पे बात कर लेते हैं।
एंगल क्रिकेट वाला ही था कि ये जो अनसर्टेनिटी होती है, क्या ये आप पे प्रेशर नहीं डालती है, क्या आपको क्लैरिटी नहीं मिलती है, तो आप तब तक कहीं ना कहीं बीच में अटके होते हैं। सवाल वो था, मैं आगे बढ़ रही हूँ, मैंने जो दूसरा सवाल साथ पूछ लिया था,
नहीं इस सवाल पे नहीं इस सवाल पे नहीं, ऐसे प्रीति आगे थोड़ी बढ़ेंगी। ये अनसर्टेनिटी चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी में हमारे साथ भी बहुत रही थी, तो अनसर्टेनिटी सिर्फ आज नहीं शुरू,
तो ये अच्छी बात है,
एक अरसे से चल रही है।
अच्छा ये बात बढ़िया बात है, क्यों मुझे लगता है कि ये कहा गया था कि इंडिया को एडवांटेज हो गया क्योंकि सारी टीमें जा रही है उनसे खेलने, तो इसलिए हम तो जीत गए थे, पर आपको एडवांटेज है श्रीलंका में, अब आपको जीतना पड़ेगा
चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी में।
सबको वहां आना पड़ रहा है खेलने।
इस डिबेट को आगे बढ़ाना चाह रही
हूं। लड़ते नहीं, इसका जवाब ना हम लोग, मुझे देने दें।
शोएब मलिक दे रहे हैं भाई जवाब।
देखें अतुल पाजी, थोड़ा सा मैं भी नया टीवी में आया हूँ, थोड़ा सा होमवर्क ज़्यादा कर लेना चाहिए। पाकिस्तान भी अपना पहला मैच इस वेन्यू पे खेलने जा रहा है, जैसे इंडिया खेलने जा रहा है प्रेमादासा में। पाकिस्तान के पहले मैचेस जो हैं वो SSC ग्राउंड में हुए हैं, जहाँ श्रीलंका जो है टेस्ट क्रिकेट खेलता है। जो इंडियन टीम खेली थी वो खेली थी सारे दुबई में मैचेस, एक ही वेन्यू पे। तो ये जैसे इंडिया के लिए है वैसे ही पाकिस्तान के लिए।
ठीक है, अब हमारे सारे पास्ट रिकॉर्ड स्ट्रेट हो गए हैं, मेरे ख्याल से पॉइंट्स
चले ठीक है, खत्म करें इसको।
हाँ लेवल हो गई है ना। अब हमने इतनी सारी चर्चा कर ली है पाकिस्तान के ट्रम्प कार्ड पे,
कहीं और जाएंगे ना फिर जीत नहीं सकेंगे।
जो बड़े खिलाड़ी हैं उन सब पे हमने बात कर ली है। अब मुझे ये पूछना है, पाकिस्तान के नजरिए से अगर हम भारतीय टीम की बात करें तो कौन है जिस पर आपकी टीम स्पेशल प्रैक्टिस करके आ रही है, स्पेशल रिसर्च करके आ रही है? वो लिस्ट बहुत लंबी है, मैंने 4 नाम गिनवाए थे। हम अभिषेक शर्मा की बात कर ले, कैप्टन सूर्य कुमार यादव की कर ले, वरुण चक्रवर्ती की स्पिन की बात कर ले, तिलक वर्मा ने सरप्राइज किया था पाकिस्तान को लास्ट टाइम, तो किस पर चर्चा हो रही है वहां पर?
जी ठीक है, ये मैं सबसे पूछता हूं, कामरान का प्लीज देखिएगा, उनको आवाज नहीं आ रही है, जरा ये इशू सॉल्व कीजिएगा। बासित भाई के से पहले शोएब आपकी तरफ आता हूं, किस प्लेयर के लिए तैयारी की जा रही है, कौन थ्रेट साबित हो रहा है, किससे घबराहट जिसे कहते होगी?
देखिए अगर हम इंडियन टीम की बात करें, जो एक्चुअल बात है वो ये है कि वो कंप्लीट टीम है। आप उनके बैटर्स की बात करें, आप उनके स्पिनर्स की बात करें, आप उनके पेसर्स की बात करें, तो वो एक कंप्लीट टीम है। और मुझे ये लगता है कि अगर आपने इंडिया से जीतना है एज अ पाकिस्तान टीम, तो आपको आपके उनके बैटर्स को आउट करना पड़ेगा, और जो उनके क्वालिटी बॉलर्स हैं उनको आपको एटलीस्ट स्ट्राइक रोटेशन के साथ खेलना पड़ेगा, तब आप टफ टाइम दे सकते हैं उनको। तो ये एक ऐसी चीज़ है, मैं किसी एक पर्टिकुलर प्लेयर का नाम नहीं लूँगा। हाँ, एक चीज़ ये ज़रूर है कि जो आपने फर्स्ट पंच मारना है एज अ पाकिस्तान टीम, वो ये होना चाहिए कि जो पहले 6 ओवर में बहुत अच्छा स्टार्ट मिलता है, अभिषेक शर्मा, ईशान किशन जो हैं, उनकी विकेट्स लेना ज़रूरी है। आप उनको क्वाइट नहीं रख सकते, क्योंकि जब आप पहला पावर प्ले जीतेंगे तो आप मैच को अपने हाथ से बाहर नहीं जाने दे रहे एज अ पाकिस्तान टीम, तो आपको अर्ली विकेट्स लेना बहुत ज़रूरी है ताकि जो मिडिल ओवर्स में आगे दूसरे बैटर्स खेलें वो थोड़ा सा टाइम लें, टोटल बड़ा नहीं होना चाहिए।
प्रीति, बाकियों की तरफ बढ़ने से पहले मैं कपिल जी से यही पूछना चाहूंगा कि पाकिस्तान के ऐसे कौन से प्लेयर हैं जिनकी तैयारी कुछ एक्स्ट्रा करनी है?
देखिए, जब आप T20 मैच खेलते हैं तो आपको सबके लिए तैयारी करनी चाहिए। हाँ, कभी कभी ये होता है कोई एक प्लेयर के ऊपर ज़्यादा चर्चा हो जाती है, लेकिन T20 में हमें थोड़ी सी चर्चा सब पे करनी चाहिए क्योंकि वो सरप्राइज़ होने के चांसेस बहुत ज़्यादा है। कोई भी, जैसे आपकी टीम को सरप्राइज़ किया तिलक ने पिछली बार, आपने कभी सोचा भी नहीं था कि वो प्लेयर इस तरह क्रिकेट खेल के जा सकता है, इसलिए आप सबके ऊपर तैयारी करेंगे तो आपके चांसेस बढ़ जाते हैं।
बिल्कुल सही है। बासित भाई,
मैं अपनी तरफ से जवाब देता हूँ। प्रीति, आपने बोला ना कौन से ऐसे प्लेयर्स हैं, इंडिया का जो वेपन है वो है लेफ्ट हैंडर्स। दुनिया में इतने लेफ्ट हैंडर्स नहीं है जितनी इंडियन टीम में है। और रहा बात बुमराह की और वरुण, वो नो डाउट वो वर्ल्ड क्लास है, लेकिन जो लेफ्ट हैंडर्स है ना आपके बैटर्स, वो बहुत डेंजरस है इस टाइम पे।
मेरा सिर्फ पैनल से यही है कि नया बॉल कौन करेगा। बुमराह ने दोनों मैचेस में चौथा पांचवा ओवर करने आया, हर्षदीप सिंह खेलेगा या हार्दिक पांड्या के साथ करवाएंगे, तो वहाँ पे नया बॉल भी स्विंग होता है।
हाँ, निखिल जी बताइएगा नया बॉल कौन कराएगा आपकी तरफ से?
यही तो हम नहीं बताएंगे, ये सरप्राइज होने वाला है। लेकिन
सारे कार्ड्स थोड़ी दिखाएंगे कामरान।
हमारा भी सरप्राइज होगा नया बॉल में।
वैसे कौन सा होना चाहिए कपिल पाजी?
कौन सा होना चाहिए पूछ रहे?
कौन से होने चाहिए नया बॉल?
अपने पैनलिस्ट से पूछ लेंगे पाजी।
मेरे लिए बहुत मुश्किल है इसका आंसर देना क्योंकि आजकल की क्रिकेट का पता ही नहीं है कि क्या होगा, क्योंकि कप्तान की सोच होती है सरप्राइज एलिमेंट लेके आना। तो इन दोनों टीमों के पास ऐसे है कि आप जो मर्जी हम डिस्कस करें उसका कोई मतलब नहीं है। उनका कप्तान कुछ और ही लेके आ सकता है, हमारा कप्तान भी कुछ और लेके आ सकता है। तो इसलिए ये चर्चा बहुत अच्छी होगी अगर मैच के बाद करेंगे कि ये सही किया या गलत किया।
नहीं निखिल, आपकी क्या कॉल है, कौन आ सकता है?
लेकिन मैच से पहले
एक बार निखिल का जवाब ले लें नजीब।
जी ले जी, प्लीज ले ले।
वो 22 गज की मेरे लिए वो पिच क्या कहती है कि अगर शाम को गेंद स्विंग कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है, अर्शदीप की ताकत गेंद को स्विंग कराना है। अगर कप्तान को, कोच को लगता है नहीं कि 7 ओवर के बाद मेरे को एक और स्पिनर चाहिए, तो फिर अर्शदीप की जगह आप फिर कुलदीप को और खिलाने को देखेंगे ज़रूर, क्योंकि आपके पास ऐसे बॉलर्स हैं जो वो नया बॉल डाल सकते हैं। फिर जसप्रीत बुमराह, हार्दिक डालेंगे, शिवम दुबे भी डाल सकते हैं थोड़ी बहुत मीडियम पेस। फिर आपके पास 4 क्वालिटी स्पिनर वो बीच में वो डाल सकते हैं। पर मैं शोएब से पूछना चाहूँगा, शोएब इतनी T20 क्रिकेट खेलता है विश्व भर में, ये मैचअप्स कितना ज़रूरी होगा शोएब?
निखिल पाजी, मैं आपके मैचअप्स पे आता हूं। उससे पहले आपने कहा कि कुलदीप यादव की जगह कोई और, ये तो आपने वही बात कर दी कि शादी हो रही है और लाड़ा ही नहीं पहुंचा। ये ना बोले आप,
क्योंकि चीजें छुपा के भी रखनी पड़ती
है। मुझे 2 प्लेयर्स ऐसे हैं, जब सबसे बात हो रही है मैं भी एक पॉइंट दे दूं। 2 प्लेयर ऐसे हैं, एक कुलदीप यादव, एक हार्दिक पांड्या, जो उनकी टीम में बड़े खतरनाक लगते हैं। शोएब, वो मैचअप की बात है जो बता दें आप।
देखिए, मैचअप्स पे मेरा कोई इतना मानना नहीं है।
नहीं, मैं सॉरी मैं 1 मिनट डाल रहा हूं, मैं मैचअप इसलिए कह रहा हूं क्योंकि माइक हैसन इस मैचअप को लेके बहुत बिलीव करते हैं, जो इस समय पाकिस्तान टीम के कोच है।
वो न्यूजीलैंड से आया है ना।
ये देखिए, हर इंसान जो है वो अपने हिसाब से डिसीजंस लेता है, लेकिन मेरे नज़र में मैचअप्स हेल्प करते हैं, बट इतना नहीं करते जितना उनको हवा दिया जाता है। वो इसलिए क्योंकि अगर आप पिछली सीरीज की या पिछली जो चीज़ों की आप वो लेके आते हैं ना, वो पिछले मैच में इसने आउट किया था, पिछले मैच में इस बैटर ने इसको मारा था। देखिए, उस वक्त माइंडसेट क्या था बॉलर का या बैटर का, या वो कॉन्फिडेंट था, क्या चीज़ें चल रही थी उसके आगे। आप 6 महीने भी सेम मैचअप्स लेके आएंगे तो वो नहीं चलता। आपको जो रीसेंट वाली असेसमेंट है उसके हिसाब से चलना चाहिए। अगर मैचअप्स आप देख भी रहे हो तो आपको बिल्कुल रीसेंट मैचअप्स देखने चाहिए, पास्ट के पूरे मैचअप्स नहीं देख लेने चाहिए। ये मेरा पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है।
ठीक है, कामरान कुछ ऐड करना चाह रहे हैं?
मैं ये दोनों टीमों को कंपैरिजन कर रहा हूँ। इस वर्ल्ड कप में ना दोनों का स्टार्ट इतना अच्छा नहीं हुआ। इंडियन टीम को एज ये है, सूर्य कुमार यादव एंड तक खेला पहला मैच यूएसए के खिलाफ। हमने पहला मैच नीदरलैंड के खिलाफ 8वें नंबर पे जाके जीता, वो भी एक हारा हुआ मैच। तो ये चीज़ें चल रही हैं दोनों टीमों के पास। बैटर्स उनके पास भी बहुत ज़बरदस्त हैं। हमारी सिर्फ प्रॉब्लम सिर्फ बैटर्स में है, वो कौन 70-80 रन करता है इस कंडीशन को, इस वेन्यू को देखते हुए, वो देखना पड़ेगा टॉप 4 में से।
अच्छा, अब बासित भाई भी कुछ ऐड करना चाह रहे हैं। प्रीति,
ठीक है,
हाँ जी, कर ले पहले कर ले।
अतुल आप बोल दीजिए।
नहीं, मैं बिल्कुल फ़ैन नहीं हूँ मैचअप्स का, क्योंकि क्या है कि बॉलर जो है T20 में जहाँ बॉल डालना चाह रहा है वहाँ बॉल गारंटी गिरेगी। बैट्समैन ने मारना कहाँ है, जा कहाँ रही है, चौका फील्डर का खड़ा है, ये दिस इज़ ऑल अप इन द एयर। तो मैचअप्स का क्या होता है बेसिकली, इट इज़ गुड, ये है बिकॉज आपने इतने बंदे हायर किए हैं, टीवी पे आपने करना है, अच्छा लगता है टेक्नोलॉजी दिखाते हुए फॉर जो फैन है, जो कंज्यूमर है उसके लिए। पर मैचअप कल को क्या बदल जाए, मैथ्स के पेपर की तैयारी करके गए हो, वहाँ फिजिक्स का क्वेश्चन आ जाए, फिर भी आपको देना पड़ेगा ना आंसर।
मैचअप के लिए एक ही चीज़ होनी चाहिए कि वो पिच वही नहीं है, क्योंकि पिच की सारी क्रिकेट है, और जब पिच वो नहीं है, आप जितना मर्जी मैचअप कर ले, अगर आपकी पिच अलग है तो वो मैचअप कभी बन ही नहीं सकता, क्योंकि आप हर रोज अलग पिच पे मैच खेल रहे हो।
नजीब आप वहां से ऐड करना।
अच्छा प्रीति, एक आखिरी पॉइंट मैं चाह रहा हूँ, मैं सिर्फ आखिरी एक पॉइंट चाह रहा हूँ, उसके बाद हम इसको वाइंड अप करेंगे और फिर कल दोबारा से हम साथ होंगे। लेकिन एक चीज़, कप्तानों का कंपैरिजन, सूर्य कुमार यादव वर्सेस सलमान अली आगा। सलमान अली आगा एट वन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम T20 को कंसिडर ही नहीं किए जाते थे, अब उन्होंने इतना शानदार अडॉप्ट किया है अपने आप को, और सामने से सूर्या की फॉर्म एक अरसे से ख़राब थी, अब वो फॉर्म में आ गए। तो मैं चाहूँगा पहले आपका पैनल इस पर अपने पॉइंट्स दे दे, फिर यहाँ से हम लेते हैं इनकी राय।
हाँ, मेरे ख्याल ये बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट नजीब ने रेज किया है। पाजी, इसी से शुरुआत करते हैं, दोनों कैप्टन्स में और उनका जो T20 का एक्सपोजर है और जिस तरह से वो T20 के फॉर्मेट में अब सेट हो गए हैं, कितना फर्क नजर आता है आपको और किसका अपर हैंड नजर आता है?
देखिए, सूर्य कुमार यादव के पास ज़्यादा एक्सपीरियंस है, और उनके बेस्ट चीज़ उनकी हुई कि पिछले जो 6-8 महीने हुए उनके कप्तान ने बहुत अच्छी कप्तानी करके, चाहे वो ऑस्ट्रेलियन से जीता या बाकी टीमों से जीता, वो एक कॉन्फिडेंस आता है। चाहे आप किसी से भी मैच खेल के जीत के आते हैं तो कॉन्फिडेंस आता है। तो उनके पास ये एडवांटेज आ गया कि उसको इतना एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है उनके कप्तान को, लेकिन मैच जीते हैं जो रिसेंटली 6 महीने, वो बहुत अच्छा है। और सूर्या का आप सबने बोल ही दिया कि कप्तान बेहतर है, लेकिन बल्लेबाजी अच्छी नहीं थी। अगर अपनी परफॉर्मेंस अच्छी नहीं होगी, कितने भी बड़ा कप्तान हो, उसका अफेक्ट ग्राउंड पे नज़र आता है। अगर सूर्या की बैटिंग वापस आ गई है तो उसको ये एडवांटेज है।
निखिल, दिस इज अ क्लियर एडवांटेज फॉर टीम इंडिया, सूर्य कुमार का फॉर्म में आना, और वहीं सलमान अली आगा के साथ क्योंकि कंपैरिजन चल रहा है, तो दोनों के बॉडी लैंग्वेज में क्या कुछ खास आपको फर्क नजर आता है?
बहुत फर्क है,
कॉन्फिडेंस वो रहता है। और सूर्य कुमार यादव का वापस फॉर्म में आना, वो कॉन्फिडेंस की जो आप बात कर रहे हैं कि ये एक ऐसा खिलाड़ी है जिसने 1000 रन बनाए 180 के स्ट्राइक रेट से, वो पीछे फॉर्म में नहीं था, वापस आया, तो कॉन्फिडेंस की मेरे को एक स्टार्ट मिलेगा तो फिर मैं मैच खत्म करने को देखता हूँ। लेकिन दाद देनी होगी जिस तरीके से सलमान ने आके टीम को संभाला है, बहुत ज़रूरी था। जिन हालात में टीम का पूरी चेंज हुई, पाकिस्तान की कप्तानी चेंज हुई, जिस तरीके से उन्होंने टीम की कप्तानी संभाली है, ड्रेसिंग रूम की रिस्पेक्ट के साथ साथ, और ऑस्ट्रेलिया में जाके वो जो कारनामा करके आए हैं, तो उससे बड़ा फर्क पड़ेगा।
पाकिस्तान की टीम को इमरान खान के बाद कोई संभाल नहीं पाया बाय द वे। और मुझे लगता है सलमान आगा जो है, मुझे तो याद नहीं कोई मैच जिताया, मुझे तो पाकिस्तान की टीम पे कॉन्फिडेंस आता है, पर इनको देख के मेरा कॉन्फिडेंस लो हो जाता है। मुझे लगता है शोएब मलिक बेटर खेलेंगे उनसे, उनको ज़बरदस्ती फिट किया गया, बनता नहीं है उनका खेलना T20।
नजीब, आई थिंक आपको सही पॉइंट मिल गया जहां से आप रिएक्शन ले सकते हैं।
मैं इससे पहले तो कंप्लीटली डिसएग्री करता हूं। सलमान अली आगा ने प्रूव किया है, वो टीम को अब साथ लेके चल रहे हैं। कुछ अरसे में उन्होंने अपनी टेक्निक भी चेंज की है, इंटेंट भी अलग नजर आई है। यादव ने कुछ अरसे पहले कहा था, आई एम नॉट आउट ऑफ फॉर्म, आई एम आउट ऑफ रन्स, तो बड़ा लोगों ने मजाक उड़ाया था, लेकिन ये बात सही है, रन्स बनने लगे। कितना फर्क पड़ता है उनके फॉर्म में आने का, और सलमान अली आगा से कैसे कंपेयर करते हैं?
देखें, सूर्या के पास टीम बहुत अच्छी है। एक टाइम पे जब पाजी ने 83 में वेस्ट इंडीज की टीम को हराया था, तो टीम क्या थी वेस्ट इंडीज की, तो कपिल पाजी का उस क्रेडिट था ना, उस टीम को बिल्कुल हरा के वर्ल्ड कप जीता। तो इस वक्त सूर्या के पास टीम बहुत अच्छी है, सलमान अली आगा के पास मैच विनर नहीं है। माइट भी हो सकता है कल का मैच अपनी कप्तानी से वो जितवा दे।
कामरान,
देखिए, रिसेंटली फॉर्म जैसे आई है, बड़ी टाइमली आई है सूर्य कुमार यादव की, सब बड़ी तारीफ कर रहे हैं, लेकिन हमें देखना भी चाहिए एशिया कप ICC इवेंट, उसमें पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ कोई बड़ी परफॉर्मेंस नहीं आई सूर्य कुमार यादव की, वो भी जेन में रहेगा कि नहीं?
शोएब आएगी,
देखिए सिंपल सी चीज़ है, जो मेरी असेसमेंट है दोनों कैप्टन्स के बीच में, सूर्या कुमार यादव जो है वो मिक्सअप नहीं करते अपनी बैटिंग को अपनी कैप्टनसी के साथ, और सलमान अली आगा का थोड़ा ये है कि वो मिक्सअप कर देते हैं इस चीज़ को। ठीक है, टीम बहुत बड़ी है सूर्या कुमार यादव के पास, लेकिन फेयरलेस जब आप आ जाता है तो आपकी इनिंग्स ऊपर नीचे होंगी, और जिस स्ट्राइक रेट से वो खेलते हैं उसमें ज़रूर होगी। तो एडवांटेज ज़रूर सूर्या कुमार यादव को है कि वो मिक्सअप नहीं करते अपनी बैटिंग को अपनी कैप्टनसी के साथ।
भाई बड़ा मुकाबला है, बहुत सारी बातें हैं, वो बातें आगे कंटिन्यू करेंगे हम। कल मैच से पहले दोबारा मुलाकात होगी। फिलहाल हमारी इस ट्रांसमिशन में बस इतना ही।
थैंक यू सो मच नजीब हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए, एंड ऑफ कोर्स थैंक यू टू ऑल आवर पैनलिस्ट हियर इन नोएडा स्टूडियो ऑल्सो। लेकिन ये मुकाबला जो है भारत और पाकिस्तान का बड़ा मुकाबला होने वाला है, इसकी बड़ी कवरेज आप एनडीटीवी पर लगातार हमारे साथ देखते रहिए। और टीम इंडिया के पास हर वो वेपन मौजूद है जिससे कि हम पाकिस्तान पर असल वार कर सकते हैं, फील्ड पर उन्हें डोमिनेट कर सकते हैं। वी ऑफ कोर्स विल बी बैक विद आवर पैनलिस्ट कवरिंग दिस मैच बॉल बाय बॉल।
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's leading AI smartphone brand. Motorola Signature, India's #1 camera phone. Grab Motorola Signature today.
World cricket's biggest rivalry is back. It's India versus Pakistan. Yes, it's the Super Sunday, the main character match where the handshake still hangs in the balance. Gets set for tantrums, tensions, and of course, a test of nerves. External Affairs Minister Jaishankar clarifies on buying Russian oils, underlines won't necessarily agree on everything the US says, reiterates we are wedded to strategic autonomy. Jaishankar also mentions India can make independent choices. Tamil Nadu pre-poll politics heats up. Stalin Jr. now swipes at TVK chief. Udayanithi questions Vijay over rally death. Deputy CM's sharp jibe says Vijay must answer. Stalin meanwhile takes on AIA DMK chief EPS. And Bangladesh's Tariq Rahman likely to take oath on Tuesday. PM Modi among those invitees from 13 countries by Rahman BNPs. Sources tell NDTV that PM Modi is busy. External Affairs Minister Jaishankar likely to attend oath taking on the 17th of February, this Tuesday.
From 1983 to now, I have seen cricket evolve, but the mindset to win never changed. I tell you that what win matches and what doesn't. This T20 World Cup. Let's talk cricket, controversies and more on NDTV.
Across the fault lines of AI and geopolitics, he is shaping how the world responds to its most transformative force. Meet Chris Lehan at the NDTV In.AI Summit on the NDTV network. The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right, and Center.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
This is not a regular promo. This script is written by AI. The visuals you are watching are created by AI. The logo, the design, all AI generated. even this voice isn't human. Because if we're talking about the future, we can't explain it the old way. AI is no longer arriving. It's already here. Understand what AI really means for society, for business, and for you.
He brings the authority of leadership in a world where AI is redefining the balance of global power. Meet Rishi Sunak at the NDTV In.AI Summit, 18 February, on the NDTV network.
Straight from the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Raut, as I track all the developments